What is good, everyone? It's your boy Mikey T, the movie star. We are back live on YouTube, y'all. So I need everybody that's watching on the gram to hit that link in my bio and come join me on YouTube right now. Major respect, everybody, for tapping in on IG. But I got the link in my bio right now. So everybody click up out of here and come join me on the gram right now. Everybody just come join me on the gram right now. I'm just getting ready for the show. Getting ready for the show, rolling some shit up. You dig what I'm saying? Yep. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in a minute. Hit the link in my bio. That's right. That's right. Let's go. Let's do this. Get this shit twisted up. Right. Let me get this shit sparked up. What up, Strictly Business? What up, King Cash? What's popping with you, man? What's popping with everybody? It's the most hated. It's the most hated yet anticipated Mikey T, the movie star, back with another exclusive. What up, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. We got a dope exclusive, man. Okay. King Cash mixing some majestic music. That's always a good thing. St. Louis is in the building strong tonight. Guys, tonight we got to talk about something interesting. We got to talk about another versus battle that actually pits New York artists going against Philadelphia artists. And, you know, these are two of the dopest cities, in my opinion, when it comes to musicians. And I think the two artists that have been pit against one another are actually two of the most interesting talents that you get when you go into each of these cities. Tonight I'm smoking on some runts, you guys. And you know, the artists that I'm talking about, or the artists that I'm talking about, are Beanie Sigel and Noriega, y'all. Beanie Sigel from State Property, Rockefeller Records. You know what I mean? We've seen him alongside many a who's who of the different top names: Dame Dash, 50 Cent. You look at Nore. Nore, we've seen him rock with Jay-Z as well, Rock La Familia, Def Jam, CNN, as well as Drink Champs, more noticeably, more recognizably now. You know what I'm saying? Nore is really at the top of his game right now, in my opinion. What do y'all think in the chat? Is Nore at the top of his game, or was he up at the top of his game when he was doing Super Thug and when he was, you know what I mean, doing commercial releases like that? I really feel like Nore is at that position that Beanie was at before as the number one artist right now, you know, leading Drink Champs to the next level. Ooh. Okay, Prayed Up says this. Beans is going to eat him up. Nori's got more hits. Nori's got more hits, and that's one thing that a lot of people seem to agree on, the fact that Nore has hits. Nori's got records in the chamber. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, when we look at both of these artists, when we look at Beanie Sigel and we look at Noriega, they've had a couple career parallels. You know what I mean? Their careers have actually seemingly been similar in ways, you know, between the fact that they've both been a part of groups, between the fact that they both have had many solo albums, between the fact that they've both been signed to some of the same record labels, you guys. You know, Beanie Sigel and Noriega's, their career is not that much different if you look at it, you know, if you really look at it. So I think this pairing, in my opinion, is a pretty interesting pairing. I think it's a really good pairing, actually. Strictly Business says Beans is a monster. But also, I think Strictly Business agreed with me and said that he is at his highest right now when it comes to Nore. When it comes to Nore actually being more than likely the number one media outlet when it comes to music. You know, Drink Champs is arguably the number one media outlet right now, even surpassing Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? Even surpassing Breakfast Club and all of the different media branches that have been promoting themselves for the past 20 years. You know, Nori has really taken a lead on everybody. Jersey in the building. Major salute to Jersey tapping in. I got love for Jersey, of course. Tonight we're actually taking a look at the potential versus battle with Nori and Beanie Sigel. You know, a lot of people actually heard about this before Dipset versus the Locks. Dipset versus the Locks came in, and I think it really shook the block. You know, more than shook the block. Dipset versus the Locks shook the world. It had over 600,000 live viewers. I want to say it was the most highly viewed versus battle since Young Jeezy and Gucci Man. So honestly, you know, whatever happens next when it comes to versus battle, I think they're going to want to keep that standard. But we've seen in the past what's happened. You know, you've got a versus battle that rocks the culture, and then you got another one that sort of goes under the radar. So we can't really predict what they're going to do next because they're pairing different artists all the time. You know, shout out you, Chase Moolah. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. Von Doe, excuse me. He says, don't sleep on Nori. He's got crazy mixtape classics before he even got mainstream. Yeah, and another thing that Nori said was that he was going to be using the War Report. Nori said that he was going to utilize the War Report, and he asked Beans, what are you even going to do when I play Blood Money? Like, he asked Beans, what is he going to do when he even plays Blood Money, which is one of the first, you know, records that Nori has released with the War Report. So just judging from that statement right there, Nori's going all the way back to the beginning of his catalog, you guys. It looks like Nori is going all the way back to the beginning of his catalog with this thing. So I had to reach out to Ab with this being such a hot topic, you guys. You know, I had to reach out to Ab and get his thoughts on it as well, because this topic right here, it's interesting to me to bring up to Ab because of the fact that Beanie Sigel is AR Rab's favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Beanie Sigel is AR Rab's favorite artist. So I thought it would be interesting to bring it up to Ab, you know, and even more interesting is that I just done an interview with Nori's partner Capone. So I let Ab know. I was like, yo, I literally just dropped an interview with Capone. You know, Nori wants to smoke with Beanie Sigel in a versus battle. Capone said, of course, he's repping home team, but don't sell Beanie Sigel short. So Capone even said that right there. He said, of course, he's repping home team, but he said, don't sell Beanie Sigel short. I don't know if you all watching this have actually seen my interview with Capone yet. If you haven't, go check it out. It's one of my best interviews I've done. But Capone kept it solid. You know, we had spoke on the potential of Nicki and Little Kim versus. He says with everything going on with the way versus is rising in popularity, he could see that happening. So if we get the opportunity to see Nori versus Beans, which I don't know why we wouldn't, with all the promotion that they could all do one another, just to set a high standard for this versus battle. Capone said he's rooting for home team, of course. Probably will even show up on the stage, but don't count out Beanie Sigel. Like Jay East in the chat says, Sigel is a beast. Yo, what up, Antoine? Appreciate you tapping in. Leo King, 215 is in the building tonight. Major salute to you. Siegel's got bars for days. Von Doe says, Blood Money, 1, 2, and 3 go hard. Got Nas on one of them. Yeah, so there's just a lot of records that Nore can bring to the table when it comes to him having a group presence with Capone, but also on his own, you guys. Also on his own, because you heard my if you didn't see my interview with Capone, Capone had said while he had only released one album, Nore was up to 4. Sorry, bro, we only mess with good chronic on this side. You know, I don't know what you can afford, but you only mess with good chronic over here. So I said this as well. Excuse me. Capone said, of course he is repping home team, but don't sell Beanie Sigel short. Capone also said he thinks that Nore has got him with his amount of hit records. Now that the verses, then I said Capone also said that he thinks Nore has got him with his amount of hit records. Ab got back to me and said a few things, you guys. Ab said, I think Beanie is a more skilled rapper than Nore, but I'm not sure if Beanie has as many hit records. I'm not sure if Beanie has as many hit records as Nore. I believe Nore had more commercial success than Beanie, but I believe Beanie has better songs overall. So look at what Ab said right there, you guys. Look at what Ab said with this whole thing. He said, I think that Beanie is a more skilled rapper than Nore. And we're going to break this whole thing down between the level of skill between Beans and Nore, between the amount of hit records, because that's what Capone is saying here. That's what Ab is saying here, that Nore has it when it comes to the level of hit records. That's pretty much what a lot of people are even saying in the chat. You know, a lot of people that are commenting on this, you know, but Nore's saying, listen, I got street records too. He's naming them. He's saying he's going to bring the War Report, one of the most gangster albums. You know, we really got to get into this. And we're about to be joined by my homie SV Twiz, but we really got to get into this because there's a whole other side to this when you bring in State Property and when you bring in CNN, because now we're not even just looking at their solo bodies of work. Now we're looking at shit that they've done with the group. And, you know, a lot of people contend that the stuff that they've done with their groups is probably the most classic shit of their career. Actually, not in Beanie's case. Not in Beanie's case. We're going to get into that, though, because we're going to actually speak on the Becoming as well, which Beanie was actually speaking on Drink Champs as his the album that he says was his best. Jose, appreciate you coming in. Capone says it doesn't matter who has more hits. If it's about bars, then Sigel all day. Interesting note. Bobby said War Report is not better than the truth. Let me bring my guy in, SV Twiz. Twiz, what's popping with you, bro?
What's good, y'all? Salute,
Appreciate
Mikey. What's up, bro? What's going on with you?
Yo, man, everything is good, man. You know, we had to tap in on this topic of Nore versus Beanie Sigel. I'm pretty sure you remember, Twiz, before the Dipset and the Locks battle really took the whole internet and the world by storm. There were rumblings of Nore versus Beans.
Facts, big facts. That joint was floating around, man. That joint was definitely floating around, and that definitely be a good joint, man.
Hell yeah, man. You know, before we get all the way into it, man, I want to say right here, Bobby says, War Report is not better than the truth. Your thoughts?
I agree. I agree, and salute to everybody in the chat. I got my other phone with me too, so I'm keeping up with y'all today. Salute to everybody. But I agree, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to say one thing, y'all. When it comes to music, it's just like I don't want to bring up trap talk or nothing, but it's quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? All the time, bro. Quality over quantity, man. And that's I'm gonna keep it kind of brief like that, bro. Like, you know, um, it's like trying to compare Biggie Smalls to Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Like, a artist can have plenty of hits and things of that nature, but you can't take away from the greatness and see. It's just like with Dipset and verse the Locks. A lot of people was doubting the Locks. A lot of people doubted the Locks. They was talking about the hits that Dipset had and all of that. But we saw what happened.
Well, Twiz, I
Salute,
wanna
Jose.
I wanna get into it all today. I want to get into it all tonight, man. I want to start right from the beginning, man. I appreciate you joining me tonight. Last week, as I said, we actually did a show recapping the Locks versus Dipset. A very, very popular battle, but as I said, just prior to that, there were actually rumblings of this battle that we're talking about tonight between Nore from CNN, Drink Champs, Rock La Familia, at one
Facts.
point, and Beanie Sigel. Twiz, could you break down how this whole thing it kind of got started in the first place from your understanding?
All right, so from my understanding, y'all, and everybody in the comments, salute to everybody, y'all see the love. But for y'all guys in the comments, you know what I'm saying, let me know, if my perspective is on point. Let me know if my perspective is on point. So as far as how I see where it got to where Norby called Beans out, I look at it off a few principles. We all know the movie State Property, right? Now, the role that Norby played was supposed to be Petey Crack role. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be Petey role. It got brought to their attention like, Petey was locked up. You think Nori could fill this slot in? Beanie Siegel green lighted it. Like, Nori, yeah, that's my man. Like, yeah, let Nori get in there, And Nori kind of touched up on that basically. Like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be on state property. So on top of Nori understanding that he got that love, he also know how great of an artist Beans is. Beans is very, very impactful, y'all. We talking about somebody. It's only a handful of people that could walk down the track with Jay-Z, especially at that time. We talking about from 99 up to the, mid 2000s. We talking about the Blueprint Hove, Black Album Hove, around all of this era, bro. Like, we never saw Jay-Z in the state that he was when he had Sieg and State Property with him. State Property was an army of their own. But B.D. Siegel was a very impactful artist. His music hit you where you know what I'm saying? His music hit different. His music hit way different.
Now, Twiz, Nori's music, CNN's music, that music hit different as well, man. That music hit different as well. I think that music right there raised the crime rate. I could just say personally, hearing that music, I'm like, damn, yo, some people were out doing some crazy shit listening to that, man. It was inspiring people in a different way, I think, on a gangster tip. So when you say Beanie Siegel's music was doing influencing people in a way, what way was it influencing people?
It was influencing way more, and it was way more impactful from my perspective because when it come to Beans, when Beans rap, you listening word for word. To me, Norby just got that flow. He got like a fast flow. He know how to flow on beats at a certain speed. You know what I mean? He got hits for sure, for sure. But it's people that was in that era where you got old heads that might have been, early 20s, 19, stuff like that, around those years of the 90s. With me being 33, that's what I grew up on was the Locks and State Property, the rock and all of that. Of course, I listen to Nore and Capone. You know what I'm saying? Capone and Nore, it's only right. But at the end of the day, Beans will play something that'll shed a tear in your eye. Beans will play something that if you going to war outside, bro, you can sit in the crib and roll up and smoke a L to it and really, you know what I'm saying?
All
Like
right,
he talking my talk.
I'm gonna let you dig into that a little bit deeper, and I want to say that these two artists actually have a few career parallels, between both being a part of groups,
Facts.
doing solo albums, and
Facts.
and Twiz even being signed under some of the same labels. They were both signed under Def Jam at one point. They both rocked with Jay-Z. Nore had said that Beanie Sigel really changed the whole trajectory coming from Philly before it was sort of known as like Will Smith. So tell me a little bit about how Beanie changed the scene of music when it comes to Philly.
He changed the scene of music. I mean, I feel like his impactfulness. I can't. He changed it for a new era. We can't forget about the ones before them because the figures used to be talking heavy. But I feel like when Sieg and them came, it was at like they fan base was bigger than what the figures fan base was, even though a lot of people knew who the figures was back then. But Beans and them, bro, like it was different, bro. It was different. It was a lot different when Beans came out. Like I said, there's certain things they were saying on raps, and then you see Beans, he'd be rapping something, bro, but you will hear about him jumping off stages, punching people in the face, like all that play a part of it. It's like Pac. When Pac was rapping and then he start his actions, regardless of how he came up, his actions eventually matched his music. You know what I mean? I feel like all of that play a role. You know what I mean? And it's like when it came to state prop, everything matched up. It was like 1,000% solid.
Beanie Siegel actually said in his interview with Nori on Drink Champs recently. I'm not sure if you caught the whole thing. Those are really extensive interviews. But Siegel had said that his album, The Beat Coming, was the only really album that he was happy with. He recorded a lot of that album apparently on house arrest. What was it really that made that album, The Beat Coming, stand out in your mind, Twiz?
Um, the becoming man, it's hard because it's like you got the truth. Like all his joints to me was bangers. I mean, as far as with him, with Beans and the becoming, if you really think about it, that was around the time of the downfall of the rock. If you listen to his music, you know what I mean? He even spoke on the joint. I can't think of the name of the song off the top, but when he be like, honor, trust, us, rock, I can't go on this way. That's the name of the song, actually. You know, you just listen to it and it's like it was a message that was getting put out there before we knew what was going on. After the V coming, it's like it was pretty much over for the rock state property. When you dealing, this was before the internet era, so it was so much stuff going on behind the scenes that state property and members from the rock, understanding what was going on. Remind you, Sieg was in the feds for drama, all types of situations he was going through. So he was venting a lot. You know what I mean? But I feel like that Public Enemy #1, which was a mixtape, that's like that joint right there. That was that work. That Public Enemy, man.
Well, we're about to be joined by our brother Rosewood. Rosewood's
Ah,
about to join us. We're
honorable Earth.
about to have the Rosewood could tell us about some of the new things he's got cooking up, man. Appreciate Rosewood. He's in the green room right now. I think everybody pretty much knows Beanie Siegel's catalog when it comes to music. He's got a really strong solo catalog, that honestly I think it could probably be about double that if he hadn't faced as much jail time. Like you said, he was in the feds at certain points.
Facts.
Couple different times I got caught up with shootings. I think that Beanie Siegel's body of work could probably be about double what it is right now. But we
Facts.
can't do anything but love the efforts that he has put out for us, between the projects with State Property and the solo projects that we've got from him. I heard him talk about in this interview with Nore about how he put on for everybody, how he tried to bring everybody with him. And it sort of reminded me of when we interviewed Santos, and Santos was telling us about all the different people that he put on his initial project. Twiz
Facts.
kind of reminded
Facts.
me of that.
Facts. That's a fact.
But so getting into that, talking about CNN and talking about State Property, I was saying that Beanie Siegel's career has been hit with setbacks. Nore had similar setbacks, going to jail himself, and Capone got locked up, which altered the War Report album for CNN, the way it was presented. So I wanted to ask you, in terms of a versus battle, what's your thoughts on Beans getting paired up against Nori?
As far as who do I feel as though going to win, or who? How do I
Just
feel about them?
I don't want to necessarily know who you think is going to win yet. I just want to know what's your thoughts on them actually getting paired up against one another.
I feel like it's great because Nori coming from an era before C, Nori being as an impactful artist as he is, as he was, and on top of that, he got a super lit podcast right now, so he don't even got to be getting involved in that. I feel like he extended his hand to Seed because he feel like the newer generation with all this new music and things of that nature, Sig, they can't forget about you, bro. So I feel like he
And
extended.
Twiz, I'm gonna let you continue to get your thought out, but let me chime in and say, before X had passed, it seemed like Nori was doing something with X. I'm not sure if it was in terms of making music. I don't know if you remembered that, but it seemed like Nori was doing something to help DMX get his career on the right track. So yeah, I do see when you say that Nori is giving a helping hand to Beanie Siegel with this. And you know what?
Facts.
These guys both went online talking about it, a potential versus battle. And then what happened? The next week, they had Beanie Siegel on Drink Champs. So that just shows
Facts.
the power that these guys have over the media right now. They've got the game in their hands right now, Twiz.
Facts. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, man.
Now, my thoughts on these two actually being put against one another, man, I sort of spelled it out a little bit with the two actually having been signed to the same labels. They've been signed to the same parent company in a Def Jam, but they also were signed to a same, company as alongside Jay-Z. So these two have actually been closer than you would have thought throughout their whole careers, man. You look at the way that they would work. You have CNN and you have State Property. You know what I mean? You look at the way that they would work in a group setting as well. So that shows you that they've both been there. They've both stepped
Facts.
out. They both stepped out as solo artists as well. You know what I'm saying? So I
Facts.
think there's a lot of comparable traits for these two when it actually comes to a versus battle. I'm a little bit more hyped. I'm a little bit more hyped to see this battle. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit more hyped to see this battle after witnessing what they both could do on the internet, to get a spectacle around it, man.
Facts. Facts. It's gonna be history in the making. It'd be love if that, you know what I'm saying, with that falling through. It'd be a real good jump.
Yeah, man. I got a feeling that the Timbaland, Swiss Beats, all the network sponsors, they got to see, especially with what the Locks and Dipset did You know what I mean? Because they went in and they did their little promo for it as well, as we spoke on. They did a little promo with the poker table and all that. So just imagine the promo that Nore and Beans could actually do to put this whole thing together, man.
Facts. Facts.
Yo, Death of the Clout Chaser is in
Death
the
of a
building.
clout chaser. One of Chirac finest. What's good, bro? Salute to you. That's my guy right there.
As Marv says, Jada had to remind you, and now Beanie is gonna remind you.
Facts.
Just veering off real quick into that, Twiz. I mean, we were all reminded of how much of a beast Jadakiss was. You know, a lot of people said Jadakiss actually handled that battle by himself, Twiz. What do you think if we get a versus with Beans? Are we gonna see the awakening of a hibernation?
Absolutely, man. With one thing about Beans, and we all gonna have to take in consideration that his voice ain't 100% the same, but you know the man lost a whole lung. You know what I mean? A lot of people wouldn't have been able to survive that shooting that he went through. He was down for months, with that unfortunate situation. But Sieg still gonna have the energy. He's still gonna have the energy on that stage.
Right there, the real prophecy says stage performance is key. That's another thing that we didn't really tap on, you know what I mean? Because right now we're not predicting our winners, we're just tapping in on these different little elements of what is going to make the winner. The next one we're going to tap into is group as well. But stage performance is one that we got to tap into, Twiz. You were just mentioning the effects that Beans has faced over his career. Is it going to affect his stage performance? Is Nore going to have him beat? Is Nore going
No,
to have him beat on the stage performance?
no, I doubt it. It's still Sieg. It's still Sieg. And you know how Kiss was like, y'all got the song playing in the background. Can't say that with Beans, man. He got the he got the green light to let that joint play in the background. You know what I mean?
Yep, and that's another thing, with it being a versus battle, it's not going to so much weigh on you. Well, actually, that point is wrong because Jadakiss straight up clowned the Locks, or Jadakiss straight up clowned Dipset for not actually putting their music. You know what I mean? Not actually speaking.
But that's because they all got their voices. They still got the physical ability to go the whole way.
Right.
It's like if you got somebody that dance with their music. If they got a broke leg, what they supposed to dance with that broke leg? Salute to everybody, y'all.
Right. Jose said Siegel 100, like I picked the Locks. Shout out to Nori, though. I got to ride with Beans.
Facts. Like I said, y'all, quality over quantity.
Yep, that's exactly what you started the live video in saying. So, moving on from stage performance, the next thing we're going to speak on, because it was mentioned heavily, is the comparison of the groups. I want to get your comparison of State Property and CNN, Twiz. Now, I know it's a lot, being that State Property is so many different members. You got a lot to go with there, but let's just do as much as we can to actually compare the fact that they're both in groups. I mean, CNN has released more albums, probably 2 times as many albums as State Property. What's your take?
All right, so as far as members in the group, we can't go off of that because if that's the case, the Locks shouldn't have been able to smoke Dipset. It's 100 of them. That's first and foremost. And for two, if we're going to talk albums, that's just like talking about the Locks and Dipset. Dipset might have had plenty of Jones that hit the charts and hit this, but we all know the Locks, just like Beans, can pull out mixtape stuff
Right.
that the whole world will be going crazy once the beat drop, and that's all it's about. I guess it depends on what generational person you are. You know what I mean? But a lot of people that's even from the older generation, Beans caught a grab of them. Like I'm talking about, like, all right, y'all, no disrespect to Nore, but he was never in no top list or nothing. You know what I mean? It was never like you don't hear Nore, Jay-Z, and Nas and nothing like that. You know what I'm talking about? But you will hear
Well,
rappers.
he certainly is on the top of the blogger list now.
Well, that don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It
The
don't mean
top,
nothing.
the
It don't
very
mean. I
But
don't.
I see
I don't.
what you're saying. I see what
I.
you're saying because
It,
Beanie Siegel was actually put on many people's list, and
facts.
more than Beanie Siegel, Freeway was put
Facts.
on many people's list. Hell, even that group that Nore called out, the Young Guns, was put on a
Facts.
few people's lists.
Facts. It's a
But
fact. You
yo,
know what I
Twiz,
mean?
let me bring in our co-host right now from Philly. We got Rosewood in the building. What up,
The
bro?
honorable Earth. What's up,
Twiz, what's up, my
Rosewood?
G?
You
Magic
already,
Team is
man.
good.
Rosewood.
You
What
know,
up,
I
Suge
bro?
work
Knight.
in the community, man.
The Suge Knight Philly in the building.
You already know, man. You gotta be that way so things can get happening, man. We
Mm-hmm.
trying to put these community projects in the city together, and we really trying to set the light on the positive things. You know, good looking to Mikey T, man, for shedding the positive light on the positive things in the rap scene in the
You already.
Philadelphia. You know, saying with the interviews and giving us positive shit, yo.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate
Everybody in the
that.
chat.
Yo, guys.
Primo, what up?
So we got Rosewood in here. So I want to bring him up to date. I want to get him caught up with us. You know, Rosewood, we had spoke on the Locks versus Dipset, but a few weeks prior to that, there were rumblings of Beanie Siegel versus Nore. I know you remember this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just so everybody in the chat is caught up to date with your thoughts, I wanted to get your opinion in terms of a versus match, a versus battle. What's your thoughts on Beans getting paired with Nori?
Well, first I'm going to say I think it was really for publicity. I think it was really to get Siegel back out into the spotlight. You know, like Lori said, bringing him on Drink Champs. You know, it's a possibility he can be at the Roc Nation brunch next year. You know, that's mending old relationships and trying to bring him back into the forefront because all the older rappers are doing shows. Why can't he? So he should be able to have the same opportunity. So I don't think it was like bringing them out for the versus the battle. I think it was more like, you know, being a friend to Siegel, you know. And that's taking it the route, you know, he took. He told Siegel, like, it's going to get spicy, but that's to draw the fans in. You
I
know, he
like
said, I'm
that.
taking the 50 Cent tactic, which he
I like
did.
that. I like that
Facts.
perspective you got right there, Rosewood. Because honestly, you know, Twiz, like he's saying, bringing Beanie Siegel back into the picture, it's like, okay, we can do shows, we can do interviews, we could do a verses. There's multiple lanes that they could take with Beanie Siegel and bringing him back out to the spotlight. And a versus battle would just be one of those many lanes. So, Twiz, let me let you get back into it. Rosewood, we were actually just speaking on a couple of the comparisons for the versus battle, stage performance. Now we're talking about the comparison of the groups that both men were involved in. And Twiz, you were speaking on the comparison of State Property and CNN.
Facts, man. It's like I said, man. You know, CNN was a great group, but, and I'm just speaking from my perspective, man. The quality of the music that State Prop was dropping, we talk like it's just hard to put in words, man. We gotta remember, like, this was at a time Jay-Z is at the richest part of his life right now, you know, after Rockefeller and all that. But when he was with the Rock, when State Property and the Rock was connected, he was really engaged and close to the streets. It was very few people that could get on the track with Hove and they'd be like, yo, he smoked Hove on that joint. No, like, he got over on Hove. We all know what Hove and Sieg did on track. They got songs like Where Have You Been? You know what I'm talking about? They got Jones like that. That's why, if you notice, Nori always said, you can't bring up no rock music, nothing with you and Hove, nothing like, no, that ain't fair. If that's the case, he can't bring up a song with with Capone. That'd be like, Nore, you got to drop just all your single Jones, and then what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know that that'd be a tough fight for anybody.
Facts. Because he would have to do you know, he would have to do what's that Fantastic Four with
Facts.
Fabulous and Nature on there. Think this Band for TV has artists. Yeah, Band for
Yup.
TV
Yup.
has Big Pun on there.
Yup.
So when I'm saying that, that's why I said publicity because he would have to take a bunch of songs out.
Well, right in the chat, Shaka says Jay-Z and Beanie was never a group. Now that's just saying there are songs that artists would use that are features all day. You know, like Nore has some more recent features that he could use with the likes of Lil Wayne, with the likes of French Montana. Features, you know, who's to say you can't use a feature? You know what I'm saying?
Let me just say this real quick. Jay-Z and Beans was in the group. What is you talking about, bro?
Right.
How was Beans not in Jay-Z group? He was Rockefeller before they even started State Property.
Exactly.
Hov put Beans in the situation for State Property. Why do you think Beans said he's the fat boy of the rock? He was Rockefeller before anything. They was all Rockefeller.
Well, I guess if you're
Siegel came
listening,
and took Bleak's spot.
I guess if you're looking at it like, Rock Boys in the City Tonight.
No, Rock La Familia. It was the family.
Rock La Familia.
Besides being
listen, bro. If you listen to the blueprint, all he's saying, he's mentioning all their names. He does that. This was before they was Rockefeller before State Property ever existed. State Property was set up to put Beans in the boss position, to let him, you know what, you're gonna run this. That's why they ended up having the beef and all of that. As far as with with O and all of them, like where they were saying, you know, the little altercations they had, but they was Rockefeller before anything.
Shaka just say it on Reservoir Dogs.
Disagreeing with you, but Iceberg is agreeing with you.
Rockefeller screaming what the fuck, spin the mozzarella.
I think Twiz is just speaking some facts right here. You know, as he just said, as he plainly spelled it out for you guys, before State Property even existed, they were all together, and then State Property was formed to put Beanie Sigel in a president-like role. And even though we didn't see it take off from there, I mean, I can't really say much on that because that's not our topic of the night. But everybody in here knows that State Property had several different potential platinum recording artists under that umbrella.
Facts.
Definitely.
It's hard to get a group.
Freeway and Beans as a duo, just together. Facts. They could have done What We Do, you know what I mean, as a duet album. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's just structure of a label. You know what I mean? At certain points, it's like things get a little bit bloated. You know what I mean? And I like how you broke that down because you just schooled me to that as well, Twiz. You just schooled me to that as well. But I just wanted to say, like, I don't think that features should be steered away from when it comes to these verses. You know, we've seen guests brought out. You know what I mean? Like, what's her name? OT Genesis came out and rocked with Shorty during the Keisha Cole. You know what I mean? Just because we didn't see too many people pop out with the Jadakiss and the Locks, I don't think that's something that we won't see in the future.
Facts.
No, that's true. That's true. The Locks always go out of the streets.
Of course.
You know, I mean, French Montana was in the crowd. You know, people were in the crowd spectating. Bro, there was, like I already said, Rosewood, you weren't on the stream with us. There was already 6 people on that stage. They didn't need to have special guests.
No, you in Madison Square Garden. You got Dipset. You got the Locks. Can't go
now. Nore and Beans, I think, would be a little bit different. But let me bring it over to you, Rosewood. I want to get your thoughts on the comparison between the groups CNN and State Property.
Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm gonna say that one of the differences I'm gonna say is that it's a different feeling when you get state property and CNN. CNN in that era, they embody that era in New York. Fatigues and basically the army stuff and all that. You know,
Facts.
about Islam, speaking about the 5% nation. You know, the their vibe was totally different. State property was more straight Philly street embodiment of street Philly. So you had yes, they're two hard groups or two, which you'll say underground gangster groups or whatever, or known gangster groups. But state property is the embodiment of Philly and at that time, and CNN is the embodiment of New York at that time. That's
Facts.
the difference.
Facts.
Yep. And Twiz had broke down a couple other factors about each group as to why you can't just look at them in a certain way. Someone actually in the chat said that CNN, I think they said CNN only had 2 albums. CNN had more than 2 albums. They had the War Report, they had the Reunion, they had Channel 10, they
Yeah,
had War Report 2. That's
too.
that's why I said that they had double the amount of albums as State Property. Um, so guys, I want to dip into this because CNN actually had a relationship going back to prison, whereas Beanie Siegel had said that he met Freeway a few weeks before, linking up. And some of the guys from State Property actually met that day at the radio station, from my understanding. Rosewood, what's your take overall on the way that State Property formed?
Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna keep it a Beanie Siegel all day. In the city, no, we really thought they kind of knew each other already too. But then
Facts.
as December went on and people were, inquiring by everybody, we of course we found out that everybody didn't know everybody was from different parts of the city. We found out that, Petey Crack knew Freeway. Freeway was
Facts.
cool. Sparks and Oskina was a group. Freeway was from Ice City. So
Facts.
knowing these people these artists while they're doing their thing. So when it came to say property, that was Jay Z being the marketing genius. And really, Jay Z was already looking for talent in Philly. He went to Gilly first. It wasn't a big enough bag. So once Sadiq and Roller, like he said, like Beanie Siegel said, shout out to Philly's Most Wanted too, because he said Philly's
Can't
Most
forget
Wanted
them.
took him up to New York just for
Definitely.
their show. It wasn't even his. He got in there freestyle, and then he was telling like Jay Z, like, "Yo, this is the one kid I'm talking about." And then right there, boom, he went in. Next thing you know, he spent 1,000 bars. He got a deal. So with Siegel, it was just it was the way he came in. It was nothing like it. His energy, his presence, his cadence, even his demeanor, everything, the showmanship, everything was in place. Because we always say this that Jay Z needed the street credit for state property. Jay Z had the credit of being a hustler, but when it comes to putting in that work and that stuff they property talked about, and them
Hmm.
jail beds and people locked up, and the struggle with drugs, Jay Z didn't have that. So he really put together a little group and that's made it work. And that's let them be in the studio and work all day. Give them the top engineers, the top producers, and let's make music.
So, Twiz, looking at this, can you tell me what potential Beanie Siegel can use from State Property? What can Beanie Siegel potentially use State Property for in the versus battle, if anything? If he's going to bring them out, what's he going to do? I mean, obviously, he could bring out free. He could bring out free Twiz for what we do.
He could bring out free for what we do. He could bring out crack. They could do flatline. They could do a couple Johns. He could bring out pretty much anybody, probably besides you know what I'm talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
he can bring out anybody. He can go any angle. He can go mixtape on them. He can go Hot 97 on them. He can go Public Enemy on them. He
Public
don't even.
Enemy.
Yeah, I mean, he don't
Public
even got
Enemy.
real rap.
He can do DJ Green Lantern drinks. Like,
Exactly, bro. He could bring. He could bring. He could bring the locks out. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. So Rosewood, what do you make of Nore saying to Beans? What do you make of Nore saying to Beans that you're not even going to be able to get past the war report? How is Beans going to deal with Nore's more commercial material? Like with Pharrell, if he can't even get past the war report.
because it's just like I go back to the Locks from the Dipset. The Locks had a lot of, you know, songs where it can get played on the radio, it can get played all over, it's more mainstream, but the Locks got the hits that the streets gonna love. When it comes to the hip hop, the streets come first with the music. The streets is the ones that
Facts.
stamp the music. Not the
Facts.
radio station, not those A&Rs. The streets stamp the music. So sales don't matter. It don't matter
Nope.
how many albums, how many streams you sell. If you can go in there and perform on a good show and sell out crowds, that's what you're doing right. Like Kid said, we don't have no words in the back. We sing our own words. They
Facts.
actually put on the show and show people how to put on the show. So it goes the same thing with Nore saying that, whatever. Siegel got so many max. Like he got 2 max in 4 clips. Like he can do
Facts.
acapella. He can break if he can do how the Locks perform, how the Locks was putting it together, where they was dropping the beat, bringing other beats in, and then bring the beats that he did like that. Siegel gonna blow him out the water, man. He can have all the what you want to do, the joint with
Mm-hmm.
Pharrell and all that. He can have a grimy and all that. He can have the shit from NORA. He can have the war report, whatever like that. So it's like, all right, we know what you got, but y'all under they I don't think Nori is, but everybody else is underestimating Siegel. And Siegel said he
Facts.
got 100 racks for anybody who want to bet.
Facts.
Yo, Rosewood, do me a favor and pull yourself away from that TV behind you.
My bad. Glare fucking with you.
Yes, let's call it that. Rosewood's getting himself situated real quick.
All right.
But I thought that was a really good perspective right there.
Facts.
I thought that was a really good perspective. Von Doe says, bring the Locks out for banned from TV.
Facts.
Look at Rosewood. Look at Rosewood in the spot, man.
Yeah,
Facts.
Studio Mikey T, we in here working, man.
So-
we always in here working. Spill Studios, man. Tap in before you tap out.
Rosewood, you had said that a lot of this was due to publicity, man. And I think a big factor in this might be Roc Nation potentially. Twiz, Rosewood, do you want to kick it off? Do you think Roc Nation plays any factor in this?
Yes. Roc Nation definitely plays a factor in it. When Nori poured Siegel a cup of Ace of Spade, that's how you know Roc Nation is involved. And Siegel drank it.
Oh, yeah.
You got to pick up on the subliminals. Nori said, and this year we're going to get you at the Roc Nation brunch. So they're already putting the play to bring Siegel back in, growth and development. Hopefully it work out, man. He can get back on the scene because he got a lot of fans. It might not be the younger. It might be some younger that know him and that can get back in, but he got a whole several generations of people that deal with his music.
Twiz, how important is that, do you think, for Beanie Sigel to potentially, to get back on good terms with Jay-Z? I mean, I was watching his interview with Nore, and he was saying at one point when Jay-Z basically told him that he couldn't watch over him, or told the court that he couldn't watch over him, that kind of hurt him. And at that point, he didn't speak to Jay all the way until he got out of jail. How important of a factor does Jay-Z really still play in Beanie Siegel's career?
It plays a major factor because you know
Fact.
what I mean. At the end of the day, man, it's like with Sean and with Diddy, with the situation in the club when Diddy got locked up. You got certain guys where it's like, bro, I'm loyal to you. We all know how Sieg got down. You know what I mean? Sieg, just like the rest of the state prop, even O spoke on it.
Mhm.
You know, I'm loyal to you, bro. You took me out the trenches. You gave me this
That's
bag.
it.
You gave me this bag, bro. You know, nobody not coming nowhere near you. Nobody coming out your mouth sideways. And if the shoe was on the other foot, if they would have asked Beans that same question about Hove, Beans wouldn't be like, of course I'm gonna look over him. You know what I'm saying? Of course I am. Get me up out of here. I'm facing years, bro. They trying to roof me. So that the situation
Or at
that he
least a
felt,
year?
yeah, he was facing definitely years, like years, and
Mhm.
And he sat up for another year and a half.
facts,
Mhm.
facts. And at the end of the day, Sieg being, loyal to his circle, it hurt. But I feel like it would be a beautiful thing. It would brighten up Sieg a lot more and make him want to be more active.
Mhm.
Even if he could be on some, I can pick up the phone and call Hove. Hove can point me in the right direction. He can do this and that. You know, will that ever happen? Who knows?
Who knows?
It's you know what I mean. It's a possibility, but then it's also a possibility that probably won't happen because Jay Z is in a whole different state. He not the same Jay Z that he was back then. That go for everybody. Just look at what he going through with Dame, somebody that he done built with before Sieg and even existed. So it probably don't happen, but I just feel like, and not to stretch it out too much, but I feel like Sieg should continue to push, just like the rest of the state property, just like a lot of artists that come from a different era,
Right.
they not gonna be on the main line. There's too many young boys out here right now that master the internet, but your fan
Mhm.
base is always there. Method Man might drop an album, it might not be all up and down TikTok and stuff like that, but you got a solid fan base. It's just like the Locks, bro. That's why I salute Kiss and the Locks because they never stop, bro. They don't care about record sales. They know they got a fan base, and they keep putting that product out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and the fact that if Jay were to come and shed a little bit of light on his situation, it would make him want to work harder. But he should work harder regardless, which I believe he is doing right now. But in
Facts.
regard to that, look at what it's done for Freeway, Rosewood. You know what I mean? Ever since Jay Z put that little rocket back in Freeway's back, it's really made him, you know what I mean, move 150 times bigger in his, you know what I mean? It's really made him go a lot harder, in my opinion, Rosewood.
Yeah, and that started with Made in America. Actually, I think it was the first Made in America, and they were bringing everybody up on the stage: the mayor, Jay Z, people from Roc Nation, and they wouldn't let Freeway on the stage at the art museum. Jay Z had to go up there and tell those other people, like, "Nah, he got to be in this picture. He's Rockefeller. He has to be in this picture." And
Facts.
that's what put the battery and Free back because they didn't want to let him in his own city. In his own city, they wasn't gonna let him on the stage. Basically saying like, "Oh, you're not up here on Jay Z level, so you can't be up here with us." Jay Z said, "No, he's Rockefeller, and this is city. How y'all gonna have him not up there?" That's when I think Freeway had the battery in his back, and from there you see him rocking with Hove, you see him rocking with Bleak. That's around.
So, you guys, before we get into AR Rab's thoughts on this and our response and our thoughts on the overall winner of this battle, this potential versus battle, I want to ask one more question. I had one more question that I wanted to ask, and I'm going to bring it to you first, Rosewood, because another major thought in my mind is Beanie Siegel versus Nore. Where do the major figures come into play? Could Nori potentially bring out Gilly and the figures, because of the fact that Gilly and Nore are really cool right now. You know what I mean? They're on that media shit. Is that something? Is that a little trick up Nore's sleeve potentially? What role do the major figures play in this?
No, I don't think Nori gonna bring out the figures. The figures in state property situation is that's too deep or whatever. Like it's not nothing to really be played with or even really be bringing up the details or anything about that situation. You know, we want to keep it all positive. I see somebody in the comments said Nori can bring out Nas and Siegel can bring out Kiss. Something like that. Nori and Nas do body in the trunk. You know, Siegel brings some state property. People out there do the diss against Nas. And that's where Twiz said, oh, would be great in there, but we don't know if
Facts.
that happened.
So Twiz, obviously there's a lot of actually, I didn't even think about it, bless you, man. I didn't even think about the further bad blood. I was just thinking more in relation to Nori having a relationship with Gilly at the moment. Gilly, Wallow being the biggest faces of Philly right now when it comes to comedy. Is there any way that the major figures could be utilized in this Nori and Beanie Sigel battle on either side?
The only thing that would be possible, like Rosewood said, Rosewood hit it on the nose where it was past, you know what I'm saying? It got real. And that ain't nothing I want to touch up on as far as with state property and the figures. But what I can say is it's possible that C could maybe bring out Gilly and Dutch. That's a
Mm,
possibility.
mm.
C can pull Dutch out and do Dead Man Walking. You
What
know what
about
I
Facts.
Yeah,
mean?
That's Us?
Facts.
Yeah,
You know what
That's
I
Us.
mean?
Dead man walking.
It'd be
Yeah.
Dead Man Walking for
He
sure.
they can
But what about Yeah, That's Us? Nobody would bring them out and to do Yeah, That's Us real quick?
That's a major figure song with the whole
yeah.
group on there.
Yeah, that's a figure song. Only other thing they could do is they old freestyle back with
Yeah, from the
Cosmic
best of
Kevin
Cosby
Q
Cash.
Beezy, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The original John where they
yeah.
was walking it down. And
They
this
can
was
bring
like,
that. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
on a cool breeze beat, the
Facts.
apartment beat. They
If
can
that
bring you can bring that freestyle back,
facts, they could bring that John back, like, you know what I
and that'll
mean?
be a real good look, Twiz.
It would be.
Out of all the history with that, that'll be a real good look for the city.
It would be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, a lot of potential people that could come out for this. You know what I mean? All in positive nature because
Yes.
it's been great to see Gilly and Beanie Siegel actually come together even on camera. You know what I mean? Like it's
Facts.
dope to see everybody mend a lot of the issues that they have. So, with this buzz surrounding Nori and Beanie Siegel, you guys, I had to hit up AR Rab about it because everybody knows Beanie Siegel is actually AR Rab's favorite rapper. So, with the potential of Ab's favorite rapper actually going into a verses of his own, I had to hit him up. I hit Ab and I was like, I literally just dropped an interview with Capone, and now Nori wants to smoke with Beanie Siegel. Nori wants to smoke with Beanie Siegel in a versus battle. Capone had said, of course, he is repping home team. So, guys, get this. Capone said he's repping home team, but don't sell Beanie Siegel short.
Don't. Paul no. Paul no.
Yeah, he been
Paul know about Paul no. Paul
facts.
no. He's
So let
speaking
me
facts.
let me get your thoughts on that, Twiz, real quick, because even Nori's own partner, Capone said, "Yo, of course I'm repping home team, but don't sell Beanie Siegel short." Capone also said this. He said, "I think Nori's got him with his amount of hit records." That's what Capone said. He said he thinks Nori's got him on the hit record tip, but do not sell Beanie Siegel short. What's your take on that, Twiz?
Once again, just to narrow it down, quality over quantity. You know,
That
record sales. What people don't understand it is record sales plays a lot. You know what I'm talking about? Like, let's just speak on Soldier Boy. I remember being locked up, bro, when I first heard of him, and that joint, you like, I remember people was laughing about it, but it played on the radio so much it was getting drilled in your head to the point you would know the verse, you'd be singing the song with it. You know how it is, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, you know this, but can you ride around to it? Can you listen to it when you stress? Can you
yeah.
play it while you bagging up? You know what I'm saying? Can you play it while you smoking and just lost a tight, you know what I'm saying, somebody close to you? You
Can you
understand? You
play
know
it
what I
while you
mean? Like,
going to work? You know, you doing
exactly.
that graveyard shift at FedEx,
Exactly.
UPS, or the market. Can you play
Ex-
it during then? Can you play it when you
ex-
getting off from that job? Say you get up
Exactly.
early in the morning, 7 to 3, or you doing a construction job. Can you listen to that then? It's a different
Exactly.
type of music.
It's
And that's
different.
the
It
music they're not playing on the radio. So that's
facts.
why Nori definitely got those hits, those radio hits, because that's what they went in the studio and crafted.
Facts.
Siegel was crafting all reality, the straight
Facts.
reality. You know, he was just crafting straight reality.
Well, you know, the War Report was straight reality as well. You
Yeah,
know,
but that's the
was,
first. That's the first one. You can say the truth. The truth is, I'll put the
All
truth
right.
up with the War Report.
All right.
I can put the best of Cosmic Cab. Well, not even Cosmic Cab John. Twiz, you remember DJ Nobody, the best of Beanie Siegel?
Facts. Yeah, I remember that, John.
Exactly. With
I remember
everything
that,
on
John.
there, with the
uh,
Jones that nobody heard. You can put that in the truth up with the Royal Report, and it's going to
Facts.
be like,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Rosewood, Body Bad Bricks, my guy in the building. Now this
what?
battle is under speculation right now. There had been some rumblings about this versus actually taking place before the Locks versus Dipset, but with that battle happening and the success of it, I'm not sure if this is going to happen. Now, in my opinion, with all the outlets that they both have for media, I think that they could make as big of a public, you know, anticipation for this if it does happen. Now that's interesting you say that, Rosewood, because earlier Twiz will remember somebody in the chat had said that the truth was better than the War Report.
Mm-mm.
But look at
It depends on
oh,
it depends on when you're born.
Von Doe says War Report helped me get through hell.
Me too. And I gotta say, shout out to Tragedy Gaddafi too, because he's the main inspiration for the War Report.
We appreciate
Facts.
you. We appreciate you watching on the smart TV, my brother. So let's get into Abs. Let's get into Ab's response, you guys, because I want to get into this response from Ab about the versus battle, the potential versus battle with his favorite rapper versus Nore. Ab said this. Ab said, "I think Beanie Sigel is a more skilled rapper than Nore, but I'm not sure if Beanie has as many hit records than Nore. I believe Nore had more commercial success than Beanie, but I believe that Beanie has better songs overall." So, Twiz, first, let's get your thoughts on what Ab said here about Beans actually being a more skilled rapper than Nori. That was Ab's first statement. I think Beanie is a more skilled rapper than Nori. Get your take.
Sieg, Sieg is definitely a more skilled rapper than Nori. And I just want to say real quick to everybody in the chat, yo, I'm not discrediting Nori. Yeah, Nori was for the streets. He spoke on the streets. But every rapper from that era, that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is based upon the streets. You know what I'm talking about? Hip hop is streets put in music. We talking about the, you know what I'm saying? Even now, you know what I mean? These young dudes right now, they rapping about what's going on in the streets now. But what I have to say is this ain't a battle on who got the most hits. This ain't like two people sitting at a desk like, why I sold this amount of million on this. It ain't about that. It's a lot of artists. Like I said, we can go back to Soldier Boy and a lot of other artists that hit all types of billboards, hit all types of mainstream. But when that beat drop, when them beats drop, bro, what's the feeling when them words start getting spit, bro? It's gonna be a lot different. It's a lot different, and also hear people saying that it's two different eras. It's no comparison. If that's the case, the Locks and Dipset shouldn't have been able to battle because the Locks is from a whole different era than Dipset. Cam is the only one that come close to even being near the Locks era.
I hear what you're saying. Definitely there, Twiz. You know, another point here that actually caught me from Ab's response was that he said, I'm not sure. Like, he gave Nore 2 points right here. He gave Nore 2 credible points. He said, I'm not sure if Beanie has as many hit records as Nore. And I believe that Nore had more commercial success than Beanie. More commercial success. Rosewood, what is he talking about? More commercial success in terms of what? Video budgets, uh, television opportunity?
Yes, he basically you kind of hit it on the nose. Basically, Nori had Def Jam, and Def Jam, once he got with Def Jam, you know, and he credited Dame Dash for this, for getting them certain deals and giving them what to say in those, those meetings so he can maximize his profit. And one thing with Nori, he reinvented himself several times. And when he did the reggaeton thing, nobody thought that was going. Even Def Jam didn't think that was going to be a thing. One person believed in him, Dame Dash. It blew up, and then he's the number one selling on the label over Mariah Carey. So he's asking for a certain amount of money. Dame Dash come in and say, no, he needs this because her budget is this, her budget is that. So Norris was able to get the push. Rockefeller was dysfunctional or whatever. If it was able to, if Rockefeller, Def Jam was able to treat Beanie Sigel how Nori was treated, and let Dame come in and speak his piece for the artist, then it would have been a similar way. But when Dame came in, they all how they got, But if it was Nori, they'll let Dame talk. But when it comes to Rockefeller, they want to shut him down because they want to deal with Jay-Z.
I hear what you're saying. And in my interview with Capone, he had basically explained to me that once CNN had gotten into that controversy and Capone had been banned from the radio stations, they decided to go with Nori. They decided to go with Nori and put the focus on Nori as a solo artist. Now, Twiz, I wanted to ask you, did you want to speak on AL Rab saying that Nori had reached more commercial success than Beanie Sigel? Rosewood had touched on it. Basically both of them were signed to Def Jam, but I think more of a focal point was put on Noriega than Beanie Sigel. You never really saw Beanie. What did you really see Beanie Sigel come out commercially like?
I can feel it in the air.
But more than that, I mean, how did Beanie Sigel look commercially?
Then go from there. It's like, not to cut you off, Twiz, and it goes back to the Drink Champs interview where Siegel's like, the one part that got me heated, he said Jay-Z was like, I'm just trying to give you some game. I'm just trying to have you transition from the street to the fame. Siegel said, so he's like, I was upset about that. Nori said, why? He said, because we never had that conversation. He said, I could see if we had that conversation and then I still was being a dickhead and going my route. We never had that conversation. So it's almost like dang, he gave him an opportunity to teach him that, and then say, all right, well look, I know this is big bro, like he kept saying. I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna listen to what Hov say. I'm gonna do whatever Hov say. So if Hov say, look, this is the blueprint we doing. You gonna do the fame shit, boom, 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 he gonna listen to him. But he said they never had that conversation.
I think it was because Beanie Sigel never brought the conversation to Jay-Z, though.
Siegel's locked up.
Right, but even when he got out, and you guys know how it is, when you're around people, you don't want to be bringing up the bad shit. So that's
Well,
kind of what I looked at it when I watched the interview. Like Beanie Sigel didn't bring it up to Jay because when you're in front of Jay, you ain't trying to bring up the negative shit, man. You're trying.
Siegel didn't care.
But I don't even know.
Siegel never bit his tongue.
But I don't even know really. Judging from what we've been talking about and what we've seen in the chat, I don't even know when the hell the last time they even really met up was. But that's not really the conversation for today.
Yeah. Now that's it. Now, right before you go on, Mikey T, when Siegel said they didn't have the conversation, he was in jail, and he said he was offended because Jay-Z gave praise to everybody. He said, Bleak, you one hit away. And then when he got the Siegel, it was like, I'm trying to teach you. It's like, you doing bad. But he's like, we never had the conversation about it. Now, I was waiting for Nore to bring this up in Drink Champs because he was bringing up all, the controversy topics, the rumors, the R. Kelly thing, and, all that. The one thing he didn't bring up was when Jay-Z came to Powerhouse and Siegel just got out of jail. And Beans came directly to the show.
Facts.
He paid his money. He didn't go backstage and then sneak backstage, do no bullshit bully stuff. He paid for his ticket right in the front row. Jay-Z stopped the show, and state troopers came up and lined the stage and told Beanie Sigel he had to leave.
Or Jay-Z, somebody brought that up in the chat. Somebody brought that. Rosewood, I leave some of that stupid.
No, it's facts, Mikey T.
I know.
I can understand in the comments.
I know, bro. But some stuff you just leave out, bro.
Mikey T, I was there at that Powerhouse.
I know, but bro, then the the video should be Beanie Sigel gets ejected and walked out by Jay-Z. You know.
Hey, listen, people know it. You can bring it back, and that's a whole story.
No, I'm just saying.
That's one part of it.
It's not about bringing it back. It's about throwing shit off. You know what I mean?
Oh, but no, I was just speaking on the Drink Champs interview that because they didn't, Nore's connected a lot of things, but he didn't connect that part to why they didn't talk. Because it should have been a talk right there at Powerhouse. It should have been
what Rose was saying.
Yeah, he treated him like he was a threat.
What Rosewood trying to say? What Rosewood trying to say?
That's not what we were talking about.
No, I was just saying I'm going back to what you were saying. Siegel might not had that conversation with Jay, but at Powerhouse he might have wanted to have that conversation with Jay, and he blocked it.
Yeah, but I was just more so just talking about the commercial success. I wanted to get
the commercial success is when you seen Siegel trying. Because that's when he got on his boss thing, when he started wearing the suits. He was going to court too, but he changed his demeanor on almost CEO status, boss status. That's what he wanted to be. He was elevating. So he tried, but now in hindsight, looking back, he needed more guidance so he can get that celebrity fame, like how Nore had those hits. Because Nore, Fat Joe, Redman, Method Man, they can be going for a while. Then they come with a whole club banger that's going to last for 2 or 3 years.
Right. Beanie Sigel wasn't like that. That's what I was sort of trying to get Twizz's thoughts on. I was trying to get Twizz's thoughts on why could Nore seemingly get into such a mainstream mode with all these other guys that Rosewood brought up. But when you go back to Beanie Sigel, it's sort of still like he's in the gutter with it.
You want to know why? Because bubblegum ain't for everybody. Commercial is another word for bubblegum. That's no different than why you got great artists like the Locks that was shoulder to shoulder with with Big, and they got the, you know what I'm saying, they in a whole different bracket. Beans is great for what he did. He great for, you can't, that's like expecting Big Elbow still alive for him to make a bubblegum song. You know what I mean? It's not for
Facts.
everybody. You know,
Facts.
Nore is more versatile than Sieg. He can do bubblegum stuff. He can do club music. He might make a song for the kid. You know what I'm talking about?
Yo, Twiz, you got to log out and come back in, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna get Rosewood's thoughts on the overall outcome. So, Rosewood, so if we can eventually see this battle, if we could potentially see this versus with Beanie Sigel and Nore, which
Mhm.
at this point I don't know if it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna happen at this point. But
Mhm.
what's your opinion, Rosewood, of who would actually win? It seems to be that Ab says here, at the end of the day, he believes Beanie Sigel has better songs overall. But at the end of the day, if we get this versus, who you think's going to take it?
Um, first and foremost, I want to say that it's going to be an excellent showcase. You know, if they put it on, how Dipset and the Locks put it on, if Siegel really trains and prepares for it, Nori too, like it's going to be an epic show. I'm going to give it to Siegel though. I'm gonna give it to Siegel because I think if Siegel can put the format together, because the Locks brought in their album songs and mixtape songs and Kiss their freestyles that were out before, but it made it sound like it was coming at Dipset. You know, he's like, I don't care who shot you, they ain't kill you. You know, that's the shot at Cameron when he's in DC. You know, so it was all so premeditated and strategic the way the Locks did it. So if Siegel could come up with some type of format like that,
Well, Rosewood, how many rounds? In saying that, how many rounds did these guys go? I mean, Jada said Locks and Dipset was 26-2. How many rounds does Beans and Nori actually go, man?
now before I answer, how did they come up with the rounds? Because during the show, they was like, "Oh, we got 3 songs left," and then it was like, "Oh, we got extra 30 minutes."
Well, I
So,
think Jada was just clowning on him, man. But
Yeah.
oh,
you
all
know,
right.
they went. You know, how many songs you think these guys could go in comparison to what we saw Dips and the Locks do?
They can
I,
do it. Nor and Siegel can do a lot. The Locks and Dipset could do more songs too.
I think they just, it's about the time limit where like when they practicing and reciting with the DJs, they know how long the venue is. So when they practicing, they make sure that you know that their
Right.
songs could at least cover at least half of the time of a venue since they going song for song. You know what I mean? So they'll probably keep a couple songs in the tuck, be like, in case it's still rolling, we gonna bust these out at the end.
So
Mhm.
Twiz, we just got Rosewood's thoughts. Rosewood is rolling with Beanie Sigel. He broke down why. Ab said, I believe Beanie Sigel has more songs overall. He has better songs, is what Ab said. So Ab is rocking with Beanie Sigel as well. I'm asking everybody in the chat, who do y'all got in a potential versus battle? Beanie Sigel versus Nori. But Twiz, now I'm going to bring it to you. Let us know
That
after all the deliberation we've made tonight that we've talked about CNN, state property, we've talked about the hits, we talked about Ab's thoughts. What are your thoughts on the outcome?
definitely rocking with Beans. Definitely rocking with Beans for sure, for sure. You know, my main concern with Beans is performing on that stage for such a long time. It's like performing him performing with one lung. It's like performing in the midst of about to have an asthma attack. So he's going to
Yeah,
have a lot of breathing control and things of that nature. You know,
in
you don't you
practice.
yeah, a lot of practice. You don't want to come off too heavy, but I'm pretty sure he's ready for that because you know they got the tour going on with, like we spoke on earlier, with State
Fact.
Prop, Locks, and Dipset. So
Dipset. Yeah.
So I feel like he prepared. So definitely see.
That's what's up. So I'm asking everybody. We're gonna get into that in just a second, Rosewood, with
Tour.
the tour talk. Yeah, Ab gave me a little couple thoughts on it, but right now we're getting everybody's thoughts on who would win: Beanie Sigel versus Nore. Guys, Twiz for sure. He got an iron lung. He got this. Jose said.
Everybody in the chat, let us know who y'all got, man.
I'm telling y'all my opinion right now. And
Hit
y'all
that like button. Share this right now. Share this to y'all folks so we can get their answer too.
Rosewood, you remember that I infamously went with Dipset over the lock, right?
I remember. Mikey T, you know I'm like an elephant. Listen, I don't be forget when it comes to the hip hop. I hold everybody accountable for their words.
I infamously went with Dipset over the locks. I infamously compared Tory Lanez to Meek Mill. And guys, I'm gonna
I'll let you slide for that one, but the Dipset locks one, you really I was trying to tell you like, nah, Rosewood, you crazy. Rosewood, you crazy, man. He had to out like this, Twitter. Rosewood, you crazy, man.
Guys, I'm rocking. Guys, I'm gonna have to say it. I'm rocking with my boy Nore on this, man. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm rocking with Nore. Nore's got records with major celebrities. He got records with French Montana. He could bring Montana out. He's got records with Mobb Deep, LA. You know what I mean? LA. He could bring Havoc out. You know what I'm saying? He could actually do a classic like that. You know what I'm saying? Nore has a lot of things that he could pull up his sleeve right now, or pull out from under his sleeve, especially being the Drink Champs host. You know what I'm saying? He could bring out Lil Wayne as a favor. I think, honestly, unless Beanie Sigel could pull out Jay-Z, I think it's going to be Nore.
If Beanie Sigel pull out Jay-Z, it'll be over.
I don't think pulling out nobody would make it no different. Especially talking about Montana. Pulling out Montana, that's not gonna make much of a difference. If we bring Wayne out, the crowd gonna go heavy, but that's one song.
He's gonna do off the rip. He's gonna do off the rip and shut it down.
I don't think
bring out Foxy.
No, you crazy. He can't shut nothing down with off the rip. Beans dialogue quality over quantity, bro.
Yeah. Now the thing is, Mikey T, I like people to come out with whoever their core groups are. Like, all right, say all right, you have a group, it's a group project, and then you have some features on there. Like how Reservoir Dogs is. You know, like the locks set the example. The locks set the bar for real. First it was Snoop and DMX, and then I gotta give it to the locks and Dipset. Because they showed you the bar, they set the bar, showed you the blueprint on how you're supposed to do this.
Facts.
I'm just saying, I think Nore is gonna take it to Beans. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, you guys. You guys had your opinion.
No, that's why we're here, Mikey T. It's for everybody.
Nore is a legend. There's nothing wrong with going with Nore. It's just all our personal perspectives. I just feel like Nore could do one of his greatest hits, and Beans gonna come right behind it with "What's Your Life Like." Nore can do one of his greatest hits. Beans gonna come behind it. I can feel it in the air. Nore, like it's just certain ones. Like y'all remember wrestling.
Beans can do 1,000 bars. Beans can do 1,000 bars. He's gonna go crazy when he do that, man. And that's gonna go on forever.
Facts.
How you gonna cut that off?
Facts.
How you gonna cut 1,000 bars off?
You want to know what's crazy? You know, with the 1,000 bars, you know where Nore could do band for TV, and C come right afterwards with the 1,000 bars. They gonna go crazy on 1,000 bars. Beans gonna be like, I rep your beat better than you, bro. Like, you know what I'm talking about? So it's like
that's move right there, Twiz.
Whoa, I don't think that's gonna be the case, Twiz.
No,
he repped it better than him. That's
And then
undebatable right
Nore's
there.
gonna be like, I'm the reason you got signed.
No, he not the reason he got signed. That's
And
like if he could have went on a Biggie beat and he would have, you know what I'm saying? We talking about Beans.
Beans raps got him signed. It wasn't the beat.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just saying, I'm rocking with Nore. I think
Nah,
Nore could
there's a
pull.
few people in the chat going with Nore.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Few people in the chat going with Nore.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. He a legend.
Nah, Nore a legend. Nore is street legend. When it
Yep.
comes to that raw 90s hip hop, and when it was grimy in Philly, New York, like all
Facts.
up and down the East Coast, when it's grimy fatigue weather, Tim's in the summertime type stuff,
Yo,
that's
tell
that
him,
that's that music.
tell
That's
Facts.
that
him.
music right there. And
Facts.
basically, like State Properly is basically a conclusion to that, because Nori had to find himself and he hit a little low point or whatever. He was trying to get a couple singles out that really hit. And then when he got the reggaeton wave, it was
Boom.
another level.
I didn't even bring
Facts.
that up. You see what I'm saying? I didn't
No,
even bring that
but
up.
but
But
but that's just a business move right there. You know what I mean? Like Norby is a way better hustler, a way better grinder than Sieg. He's way better. He's way better business minded. And regardless of the verses, Norby is putting Sieg in a position like you said earlier, Mikey. He's extending the hand because Norby winning regardless. Norby got a lot going on. For him to even extend it to Beans, it says a lot. But it's a reason why he challenged Beans instead of challenging somebody like Fat Joe, instead of challenging somebody from New York from his actual era. You know what I mean? Somebody spoke on earlier where that's Norby backyard. Y'all gotta remember New York love Philly, man, and they definitely love Beans. You know what I mean? So the energy is gonna be there. It's gonna be great. They both great artists, and Norby got hits. Norby, like I said, he can switch up music more than Beans, where Beans is just in that grimy boat. He's in that boat right there.
Yep, just like Rosewood was just saying, Twiz. Um now now I also wanted to touch on I wanted to touch on some of what you were saying, but also, we had to speak on the touring a little bit. We had to speak on the touring a little bit, and we also had to speak on Beanie Siegel's reaction to the Dipset versus Locks. The Dipset versus Locks battle came, and I think we're gonna go on this first because a lot of people were saying, "Yo, I want to see Beanie Siegel versus Jadakiss." Like that, a lot of people were saying that. But after the Lock versus Dipset battle, and Jadakiss a lot of people say Jadakiss took on Dipset by himself. Um, Beanie Siegel posted up this message. This is what Beanie Siegel put on his IG, you guys. He said, "Damn, I can tell my grandkids Pop Pop stood toe to toe and went the distance with the most dangerous MC ever. Jadakiss, might be
alive.
top five might be an understatement. Top five might be an understatement.
Mm.
Like to me,
The
you guys,
longevity. The
to me,
longevity.
to me, that sort of says like Beanie's like out of the whole position of wanting to battle in a versus with Jadakiss, and he's like, damn, I already stood toe to toe with this guy. I'm kind of straight on doing a versus with him. What's your thoughts on that, Rosewood?
Nah, it would have been epic, man. It would have been epic because they got so many songs and they got so many freestyles that everybody loved. The freestyles is like songs, and then say they were able to do the battle right there. It's friendly, but you can kiss this, you can single this, you can Styles P saying whatever, like a friendly competition. Like we going like Styles P said, we gonna fight, we gonna chip, but it's all love. So that's the vibe we wanted to get from Kiss and Siegel. It would have been epic. And they still could have did the lock dipset after that.
Well, Twiz, is that something you agree with? Do you think that Jadakiss and Beanie Siegel is still on the table as a potential versus?
I don't think it's on the table. It would be epic, but it also would be disrespectful because then they would, like Rosewood said, they would be going back. It would be like Jeezy and Gucci, like because them going at each other, they were getting real disrespectful to the point they was getting under each other's skin. If it was a versus, I would like to see Beans versus Styles if it had to be like that, because you got the grimy versus the grimy right then and there. You know what I mean? And that would be a good jump. But at the end of the day, yeah, the Locks love Beans. I feel like it would get a little too personal because it would be hard for them to do verses without bringing up they diss tracks, and they got real disrespectful to each other on them Jones. Like,
Damn, I like your thoughts on that as well with the prospect of Beanie Sigel versus Styles P. You know, it's been great to see the guys, Beanie Sigel, Young Chris, you know what I mean, Neef Buck, all these guys, PD Crack, all get back onto the touring aspect of things. And even to hear, you know, Rosewood, Twiz and I were speaking on hearing the fact that State Property was potentially going to be opening for the Locks and Dipset tour. You know, it's really great to see Beans and all them running around. Ab actually gave his thoughts on that as well, saying, I'm happy to hear that Beans is moving around again. And also Chris and Petey. I F's with Chris and Petey. I had the pleasure of hanging around them two guys a lot, and they're good men deserving of more than they're getting. What's your thoughts, Rosewood, since we haven't really got them on State Property, apparently accompanying the Locks and Dipset on a tour?
Well, I'm going to start off like this. And one time in the city, I think mid-2000s, as you might know, it was a movement called PSP. It was called Philly Support Philly.
X.
And it basically is like everybody in the city was supporting each other. It wasn't seen on the mainstream or on the industry level or whatever like that. But in Philly, everybody was PSP, Philly Support Philly. And we really got to bring that back. Anybody that's from Philly in the comments, we got to bring that Philly Support Philly back because that was a major movement.
Thanks.
Yo, Rosewood, was that music coming from your end real quick?
Yeah, my bad. That was somebody calling my phone. My bad.
Oh, word. I thought it was Twiz's phone or something.
No, yeah, PSP, man. Everybody was coming together. So that's why, Ed probably was saying, like, he was around them a lot because that was around that time. Whereas Philly Support Philly, there was no hierarchy or who's the top rapper. Everybody's the same. We're all from the same city, and we're all trying to push our music out there and get paid, and be good.
I had run into young Chris when I was actually out in Philly, and he had told me that it was. I was like, yo, dude, it's dope what y'all are doing. You Beans and PD and everybody running around. He's like, yeah, it's not an official tour yet, but it's a bunch of spot dates. Twiz State Property always gets spot dates, man. What do you think of the potential of these guys running around on a 20 to 30 date tour again, man? What's that going to do for State Property?
It's going to definitely, most importantly, they're going to get some money just from touring.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And what else is there better to do? That tour money beautiful, even if they going to go cross seas with it or whatever the situation is. I feel like artists that's and from that generation and before should always get their tour money. It don't matter how relevant you are to the internet. Like I spoke earlier, they got a fan base, and it's beautiful to see these guys still together and working after all these years, after the roller coaster. So yeah, they should keep doing it. Like you said, they always have spot dates. It seemed like a couple times within every few years they do like a state prop reunion and things of that nature. So yeah, you only live one life, man. Why not go for it?
Facts. Definitely Twiz. Ricardo Guzman, where PD Oskino and Sparks at? They're around. They're working.
PD just dropped something like 2 weeks ago too. He just dropped a new song.
Yo, PD that dropped some new music.
Yeah.
Oskino working on art.
Facts.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit going on.
Oskino definitely stand up too. He been through a lot, so
Yes.
he's still pushing. You want to know what's crazy though? If I could speak on it real quick, Mikey T.
Take it, Wiz.
I I did an interview with Oskino, and he spoke on "Still Down Too Long." Bro, did you not know that was gonna be Beans' track? They was about to give it to Beans, but Jay-Z and them had listened, like Beans recorded to it and everything, and they was like, no, we gonna let Oskino rock with that joint because he pretty much went so hard. That's why that's a solo song on Chain Gang. He got his own solo
Yep.
joint on there. You know what I mean? And O was talking
Facts,
about
Wiz.
O was like, man, once he heard Beans rapped on it, he like, oh, I lost the track, man. But they rock with O on that.
Yep. Facts, Wiz. That's a hidden jump right there. Everybody in the comments, that's a hidden jump right there. That's all facts. That was original. They're gonna make that sequel song.
Yeah.
It's like Breathe Easy is supposed to be Oskino's song too.
Facts.
Breathe Easy is Oskino's song.
Facts. PD definitely nice.
Yeah, PD Crack.
PD on another level, man.
PD,
listen, man, crack or a problem.
Yo, PD said the first time he rapped for Beans for Hove and they like, no, they wasn't feeling it. Then he came back again and you know what I'm saying they signed him.
Yeah, he said they didn't remember who he was. Matter of fact, Mikey T, he said that in your interview, Mikey T.
Yeah, he
that was
did.
a good interview.
Facts.
But the shit about Dame Dash, right, Rosewood?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a good interview. You got some good questions out, PD. Because that's something I didn't know.
Now that
that's history.
Now that new Royce the 5'9" interview is going crazy. All right, guys. I put it up. Open questions. Anybody who wants to ask questions, and we're gonna have to start doing a thing. Yo, I know.
Shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Take my last shot for the last question.
When you don't want to answer a question, you take a shot. And so we're gonna start it off right here because I'm bringing it to you guys. Yo, Twiz, Rosewood, who's better, PD Crack or Young Chris? Yo, Twiz. Or hold on, you don't have a drink. Rosewood.
I got a drink right here.
No. We gonna set the parameters first. Twiz, you got the.
I got the vape and I got my drink right here too, y'all.
All right. So Twiz, y'all know Twiz. All right, see Twiz, Uptown guys, North Philly Uptown guys. You know how we carry it. You know the drink. You know the drink in the cut. You know the drink in the cut. Let's go, Mikey T. You got the parameters. Everybody with their last question.
We're playing a drinking game now, you guys. Bonds,
go. Share this right now. Hit the like button. Share
Bonds. Facts.
So
that's a great question.
With the first question, and guys, so give me 1 second. Let me
take
just
take your time.
Something like the Bonds. So
yeah, Bonds. What up, Bonds? My J.
Bonds,
I see you in the city when you get here, Bonds. I see you in the city, baby.
So the first question is, you guys, who's better, PD or Young Chris? Rosewood.
PD.
PD's better. PD Crack is better than Young Chris, who everyone says is like the guy who, wrote lyrics for Jay-Z.
PD Crack gave styles to Beanie Sigel.
Okay. Twiz, who's better, PD Crack, Young Chris, or Drink?
Chris. I'm going to go with Chris.
Okay. Going with Chris.
The only reason why I'm going with Chris is because let's not forget he was 16 rapping with grown men. And he was walking stuff down. You know what I'm saying? He was a young boy, like Crack and all of them. He was grown men.
I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna have to smoke on that one.
That's a good observation though, Twiz. That's a good observation with that. Because but PD and Freeway was doing the Ice City thing. And PD was killing him back then.
Facts. Crack had to blow that.
Tequila.
Crack Crack flow on a whole different level, man. That's why we all notice Beans and Crack got a lot of songs where they going back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mess with them both. I mess with them both.
Yeah, I
I feel
definitely
like
mess with them both.
I feel like Chris flow is more consistent. Like Crispy still wrecking stuff. Like he consistently wreck everything. Like
I think Chris got a better work ethic.
yeah, he got a better work ethic. I put Chris up there with the flows with the Fabs and all of them, where it's like he going to go off every time.
Work ethic. Who'd you say had a better work ethic?
Chris, definitely.
Chris.
I mean, yeah, no, Chris has a lot of projects, all those network projects, Alive. He had several different record deals. He was rocking with Rico Love and did a whole album with Rico Love. So, yeah, I guess you're right as far as work ethic goes. But you can't discount Petey Crack. I mean, he had
No. Petey Crack got a good work
No,
ethic, but
he took
Chris
his
doesn't
situation. He took his situation and went and got signed back to Def Jam. You know, the
Yeah,
Prince of
Chris
Rock.
doesn't stay consistent.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Chris is consistent.
but also Chris was the last one that left with the Rock. He was there when they switched to Roc Nation. Hove kept him around longer than everybody.
Because he's the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know. They had to put him. They had to put him as the Young Guns. I feel like they had to make that a group. There was just so many rappers coming out who were so cool at that point. Young Chris couldn't just be a solo rapper. It had to be something different about him, and the group made it a little bit different, and it made it work, in my opinion.
Now, Petey Crack is definitely a solo artist, and he was
Yeah.
signed to Rockefeller Def Jam. So the thing
Oh,
is, when they made the split, if Petey Crack would have went, Petey Crack did go with Jay-Z, but everything was owned by Dame Dash.
Well,
So,
not initially, Rosewood. He didn't initially go with Jay-Z. He stood back from the both of them, as he explained in my interview.
right.
Like, rather than choose a side, he stood back. And then when the opportunity presented itself with Neo, when Jay-Z went over to Def Jam, and he was like, oh shit, why don't we just finish what we started? I thought
That's why I understand why I keep going.
because Jay ended up leaving Def Jam.
Yeah, he did say that, and everything got
Yeah.
screwed up over there.
Well, a lot of people have said that, you know.
And it was crazy because it seemed like wherever Jay went, it seemed like Petey would be able to get that opportunity too to keep what he already had going on, pushing.
Not when you're fucking a contract, though.
Yeah, but it's people over in Def Jam that respect Jay-Z to the utmost. So Jay-Z only got to say one word, and Petey is good. And Jay-Z can say, yo, whatever advice Petey got, whatever direction you want to go in, go with him. And then we
Yeah.
verify with me later.
Well, you know, not to discredit Petey. Petey is Petey is, you know what I'm saying? He was the Prince of Philly, man. He was the
He's the
Prince
Prince
of
of the
Rock.
Rock.
Now, what I can say is
Prince of Philly, huh?
I interviewed Chris and he labeled Chris as one of his top rappers of all time. So that says a lot, right?
You say you interviewed who, Twist? My bad.
I interviewed Crack and he put Chris for one of his top rappers of all time.
Oh, yeah. I seen your interview with Crack, too. Both of y'all got great interviews with Crack, man. Because y'all really, y'all dabbed in the stuff that I knew, and y'all dabbed in the stuff that brought me back to my days then, and y'all really brought up questions that made me think, like, damn, I never thought about that, or I didn't know that. Y'all both did great interviews. Everybody in the chat, make sure y'all check out Mikey T interview with Petey Crack. Make sure you check out SV Twiz interview with Petey Crack, because it's a lot of knowledge in there from the whole state prop Rockefeller thing, and it's raw and uncut. There's no politically correct things. Like, nobody's holding back any questions. It's real.
Guys, we have a question just
Appreciate
came
it,
in.
boy.
You already know.
Everybody that's tapped in right now, we're accepting open questions right now.
Questions.
But hold up.
Questions while I'm taking my shot.
Okay,
Come on, give me some questions.
1 second.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Welcome in. Yo, let's welcome our co-host. Our co-host from New York.
Southside's finest. Southside's finest.
All right.
Papoose, stand up.
You guys, you have to ask questions that make these guys not want to answer it, so they have to drink. That's the game. But let's talk about this because this is a very interesting topic right here. Bonds, I want to get your opinion on this first. MOP couldn't work with the Roc and G Unit. It did look nice on paper, though, like early K Durant, Russell, and Harden. Bonds, what's your take on MOP not being able to work with the Roc and G Unit?
That's a good one for Bonds.
You're gonna take a drink?
That's a good one for Bonds.
That's a good one, though.
Bonds got this.
I got that, though. You know what it is? I wouldn't even say that it couldn't work. You know what I'm saying? But like MOP was like a legendary group. Like I think like what you was doing was I think with some more time. But anyway, they was never that type of group anyway. They wasn't that realm of, you know what I mean? Like G Unit was hard, but they was kind of crossover too. The game had kind of changed and crossed over. So they was never in that stratosphere as artists, even though they was the kind of the blueprint to that griminess. But you know what I'm saying? It's like it always goes. The first person that do it ain't, like, you know what I'm saying, never gets really the ultimate credit. So that was kind of like, it was kind of like a awkward moment. You know what I'm saying? Really, like it wouldn't have worked. They had a ceiling at that time anyway, bro.
Yeah, I thought they were just trying to get the money. I just thought it was like those situations was for them to get the money that they deserved.
Dr. Dre could have signed the niggas, and they still probably would have been at the same.
So let's tap into each of the labels, though, Bonds. I want to first go into obviously the more known. I think the more known label that they were signed to is G Unit. G Unit picked up MOP after they left Rockefeller. MOP had said they cleared up a lot of debts working with G Unit, doing a lot of touring. Why do you think MOP didn't work with G Unit in particular, Bonds?
Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked by the fact that you said G Unit was more popping, because I don't was a more popular label than Rockefeller.
No, I think people more popularly know MOP signed to G Unit than they did the Roc.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nah, I can't say that. The streets do that. When they signed to the Roc, it was like the whole team coming into the Roc, because came, MOP, Old Dirty Bastard came, so people were looking at the roster, and Dame was doing heavy promotion and marketing.
But was Jay-Z reported, or was that like the end of the Roc? That was when Jay-Z was trying to leave and stuff.
That's when he was in the South of France.
Yeah. Good point. See, 50 was promoting MOP himself, like.
Exactly. Yeah.
He put him on the cover. He put him on the cover of a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
50.
He tried.
Yeah, put them on a G Unit album soundtrack. You know, for Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting right there, man. Because MOP on G Unit is one of the more interesting topics. Twiz, did you have anything you wanted to say on why MOP didn't work on either the Roc or G Unit?
I got one response for that.
Oh, my man Dre. My man Dre.
Yeah, take a drink from that one. I took a drink with you, Twiz.
Nativ says MOP would have killed the G Unit sound. I think that was a good point that Bonds you brought up about the end of the Rock. That's more than likely why they didn't get their opportunity on Rockefeller. Sort of like how Old Dirty Bastard didn't get his opportunity on Rockefeller.
Facts. Because if they would have stayed together, the production they had from Guru to Just Blaze and everybody else, MOP on them beats, and they still was linked in with Primo. So then you bring a Primo into the Rock. It's a whole different variable right there. But it didn't work out. And like Bond said, 50 tried. 50 did that out of respect for MOP as who they are. It's not about selling records. It's respect as you as artists and rappers on it.
He tried. What he tried by bringing them out to the public. He tried by putting them on albums that were for sale at Walmart and Best Buy.
Yes.
Is there not any more trying than you can do than that, Bonds?
That's true.
I ain't too much trying. Except for what he did for Game. Give him 4 songs.
MOP ain't need that though.
They ain't need that.
Well, nah, 50 wasn't as forthcoming with it by then. He was like, oh, give you 4 songs and make you the most popular guy in the world, so then you don't like me in 6 months from now either? Nah, it doesn't sound like the best plan.
That's true.
True.
Bondo says, I didn't hear a lot of music from them on the Rock or on the Unit. Well, I was just briefly mentioning the soundtrack. They were on the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack when Death Becomes You was the song.
Right.
But I like what you were saying, Rosewood, because in a perfect world, if the dynasty wasn't ending, MOP would have sounded great on all of that classic Rockefeller production.
Yeah, and I don't know who brought that up in the comments or said that, but here in Philly, we were privy to so much music, especially when it came to say pop Rockefeller, whatever it was. MOP has plenty of songs with State Property. It's a song, and it's actually, I think the title was messed up, but it got a couple Rockefeller artists on there, and it says "fuck MOP." But the song has all them on there with MOP, and it's a banger. It's Sparks on there, PD Crack, MOP, Goskino. Like, that's an uncut gem right there. Shout out to Philly Rewind. Y'all check Philly Rewind out. He got all the classic hip hop, all the classic Philly hip hop, DVD shit, all that. So that's what I'm saying. It was like the way it was set, the way it's set up. MOP, all of them were making music. Old Dirty Bastard was the only one that had the situation where he couldn't make a whole lot of music. Everybody else was locked in. It's songs that we probably will never hear from Rockefeller. Eventually we might, but it's songs we might never hear.
So yeah, that's a fact though. But they never even dropped the album though.
Yeah, with either of those labels.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
So you can't even say that they didn't really I mean, you can't really say like they underachieved because they never dropped the album.
Well, they dropped albums. MOP dropped albums on Relativity.
I was about to say, how about some hardcore?
No, I mean, I'm not saying they never dropped the album in general. They never dropped the album on Rockefeller or on Junior. They never dropped the album with, with 50 on it with Dre beats, and they never dropped the album in them situations.
That is true. I never thought about that, Bob.
So you can't really gauge it. You don't got nothing to gauge it by. They ain't drop an album.
True.
Well, what labels did those records like Cold as Ice and Annie Up? What labels actually dropped those albums?
What was that, like on Loud or something?
No. Matter of fact, there was a Loud and it was an independent. It was like a joint venture.
They also had Epic at one point. Yeah. But more importantly, what I'm saying is,
Cold as Ice was like later. Shit.
It seemed like the labels like G Unit, Interscope, Rockefeller and their parent company, they wanted to capitalize off of that old sound that MOP has created. But I think you probably couldn't get any better than Annie Up or Cold as Ice. You weren't gonna. What do you think? I don't think you were gonna make better records than them. Like what I heard
That's
was
How about some hardcore? He wasn't gonna make another one of those.
But now I see what you're saying, Mikey T, because Warriors was like one of the best albums. But I think it was going to keep going on because you had the production from Rockefeller and you got Primo, you got DJ Premier. You can't go wrong with all that production.
You're right.
True.
And then on
let's get the hard
G-Unit,
shit.
and then on G Unit, there was speculation of actually a MOP and Mobb Deep album.
Right.
Like, you know,
And they never fell off with the bars, bro. Like right now, you see, look, Lil Fame be spitting with little K Slay and all that, be putting a little drinks out. Like he's still hard, man.
Yeah.
He's still hard. So
and Dan's Rick Billy Dan's, excuse me, not Rick Dange.
Really
Hip
did.
hop since 1987. Billy Dan's, who I've actually had a few conversations with. He had a producer website at one point. Yeah, dudes be working, man. Fame, you know what I mean? I love his flow, to be honest.
yeah,
You know,
Dan's used to come to my hood too. God bless the dead, man. My man Ice was it was his cousin. He used to come through, holler and all that.
word. What year was that, Bonds?
Last time Billy Dance came through there, Ice, that's probably was like early 2000s.
Word. It shows you right there how long they've actually been connected because they went on to sign with G Unit in what, 2006?
Yeah.
And this was before that.
Yeah.
This was before the unit was even popping and all that like that. Yeah,
Right.
my man Ice, he was down with the unit too.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That was Ice. My man Ice, that was his cousin. Billy Dance was his cousin.
Now MOP, they the first label was First Family, and that's the name of their overall group. So I guess that's how About Some Hardcore. I think that's when that came out. Then they were on like Nature Sounds, Relativity, then Loud, Epic, Koch, Full Clip, then Rockefeller Records. Koch, I think, is when they were 50.
Because they was on the same label with Mobb Deep, I remember, because they was like the Brooklyn version of Mobb Deep, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I love Mobb Deep. It's Queensland. I mean, rest in peace, Prodigy.
Rest in peace, P.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's why there was a lot of buzz about that. I don't understand why they couldn't have got an album of MOP and Mobb Deep out, even if it was just 100,000 copies.
Well, most of the time,
did you go to jail around that time for the gun in the car?
Hold up, not to cut you off, Rosewood, but DeReal Scoman says Mikey T's right. We remember the G Unit signing better. Just saying, guys. I know what the people be knowing. You know what I mean? But what were you saying about the gun possession, Rosewood?
No, I was saying one thing I always thought that
Prodigy
they didn't get they didn't get the MOP.
Now they had time, Rosewood. They had time, bro.
I don't know. Prodigy was going through a lot, and then when he got that, it was a wrap because he was going through other things.
But they had the Blood Money album that dropped in May of 06. What up, Twiz?
One thing we got to remember, whether it's an artist that gets signed to a label or a group that gets signed to a label, just because it was an album that wasn't put out to the world, I mean it was recorded. A lot of artists and a lot of groups got a lot of stuff recorded, and somebody up above is like, nah, we just holding that. It ain't time for this. And a lot of times they never get around to putting out a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's why a lot of times when we lose artists, you know, when they no longer here, it be so much stuff that get released. You know what I mean? So that's also another thing.
That's a fact though.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas be wanting to do what they want to do too. So MOP, you know, they go somewhere. They got their style. They got their formula. They don't care. Rockefeller G Unit. They probably telling them, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm doing this. I'm doing his beats. I need Primo in here. And they probably was like, oh, that. Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't get why they couldn't be like, yo, we just recorded a whole 12 cuts with MOP. Yo, we are trying to be a pop record label. We don't want 12 MOP in Mobb Deep cuts, man. We are signing you guys to break off as big talent. We don't want to sell 150,000 units in the hood anymore.
They don't care. They got a
They don't
formula though.
care.
They got a
care.
formula. They got to
They never
stick to their
cared
formula. They
about
don't care about selling out.
And,
They would have did
and
that 20
artists
years ago if they cared about that.
and,
They don't
and
care
artists
about
like
that.
that and artists like that stick to a formula. That's what makes them unique. Because I done saw plenty of artists that try to switch up and make try to sing or something, and it just don't sound right, man. Like, no, that's not it. You know what I mean? You can't. You got to stay in your lane. Some artists are more versatile than others.
Because they
You know,
followers is devout though. Like they ain't got as much
facts.
followers as other dudes, but they got 1,000 dudes. They got a, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna stomp out anytime.
Facts.
Brooklyn, old grimy Brooklyn dudes, man.
Ricardo says when Cam was on Koch, wasn't Banks on Koch also at that time? No, I don't think so.
I think 50 had.
No, he was because that's when Cam was up on the radio station and he's like, Jimmy's on Koch, Lloyd Banks on Koch. He said, Curtis, how much did Lloyd Banks sell?
No, Rosewood. Banks was never on Koch.
Banks
No, he said he let Mobb Deep. He was talking about Mobb Deep.
When he's talking about Mobb Deep on Koch. Okay.
No.
He said you let Prodigy go over there on Koch or some shit.
Okay. You let Prodigy. Why'd you? Because 50 was like, Koch is a graveyard. He's like, oh, Koch is a graveyard. Then why'd you let Prodigy go to it? Then why'd you? He's like, oh, Prodigy's different. I just wanted to open up a couple deals for Prodigy.
Yeah, no, he respected Prodigy, so he love.
But nah, Banks was never actually on Koch. Banks, to my knowledge, released a few records on iTunes that you could purchase that were really successful, like the Officer Down track. But as far as a solo release, you guys, is this Banks' new album? Is his first solo album in quite some time, to my knowledge?
Yeah, it's just Rotten Apple too, right?
Nah, since Hunger for More too.
Hunger for More too. It was one of the twos. But he dropped a great project though.
Yep, The Course of the Inevitable.
He definitely did.
Yeah, so
there might have been a few
more consistency.
There might have been a few Lloyd Banks mixtapes in between that. They say this is Lloyd Banks' new album.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not on Koch or where E1. It's now. I don't believe Banks ever did a deal with Koch. Is what I'm spelling out for you right now.
E1 definitely, but you right, Mike T.
No, I don't think. I'm not sure.
That Prodigy with the
Now the game took well advantage of E1 and got a bunch of albums on E1.
Yeah. Facts.
I was in the store one time, and you know how the big thing was about 50 getting half of all Game's albums and shit that were on Interscope.
Yeah.
So Game had like 4 albums on Interscope, right? But then I looked over here, I see all Game. Game has like 4 albums on E1 now.
Dang.
Yeah, get Jimmy his money, and I'll make my money on the back end.
He's smart. What do you guys think? Havoc, top 5 producer?
Yeah, I like Havoc.
Definitely. Yes.
Definitely a monster.
Yes. Been putting in too much work for too long.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this as well. Beanie Sigel had said this in the thought. Bonds, you weren't in here, but Beanie Sigel said this in the thought. He said he wrote on his IG, "Damn, I can tell my grandkids Pop stood toe to toe and went the distance with the most dangerous MC ever, Jadakiss." And then he said this: top 5 might be an understatement. What do you think he means like that about that, Bonds? And do you think top 5 is an understatement for Jadakiss at this point?
If you talking about raw street bars, then I could agree with you. Raw street bars in the cipher, New York, like you know what I mean, that shit, that rap, that that we all stand in a circle. Yeah, Jadakiss gonna smack you out the park every time. But you know what I'm saying? I
What,
think
you
it's a
could
difference.
agree that Jadakiss is the best ever?
And like bars, just like uh, nah, I wouldn't. Nah, I couldn't agree. He was the best ever.
He's not the best ever? You
No,
sure? After that performance at the, you guys, what does everyone think? Is Jadakiss
No,
not the best ever?
no,
you got to think who
nobody,
he went against
no,
though. He ain't go against
nobody,
nobody crazy.
no rapper in history is the best ever, man. It's no such thing as the
Thank you,
best ever.
Quiz. Thank you,
You
Quiz.
you
Thank
love
you.
certain rappers and certain rappers master and execute certain things. There's no such thing as the best
Harris.
ever. Top
Yep.
5 is a perfect bracket to put him in because of the era that he comes from, and for him to be here in 2021 and still airing stuff out. We talking about somebody that was relevant when Big was alive. You know what I'm talking about?
In 95.
Exactly. We talking about back then. So, he's not the greatest rapper of all time ever. It's not one rapper that you can just put right. Everybody got their flaws. You know what I mean? And certain people was great at executing certain things.
Well, I'm gonna have to say after his effort at the versus battle that he's definitely not number 5 anymore, man. He's definitely creeping
No,
into the top 3.
yeah, yeah. But being in top 5, you got to remember that's a heavy label. Like that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's hot. Like Bond said earlier, bar for bar. Now you talking about top 5. Now you talking about your whole project or your whole career period. We talking about now everything got to be involved. Now we got to really talk about albums. How many albums did you put out solo? How many, you know what
All
I'm
right.
saying? We got to do all of that. Now, and when you talking about top 5, now you bringing up Hot. Now you bringing up Big. Let's not forget Big L. Let's not forget, it goes on days for days where people might
Whoa.
have, you know what I
All
mean?
respect to Big L. All respect to Big L. Yo, Bonds. All respect to Big L. But, Big L's career is not where Jadakiss's career has gone, man.
Look
Could
at
have
what
been.
look at
It could have
he
been.
been gone for years. He been gone for years, bro. When Kiss first came out, Big L was that guy. Yeah, that's
That's
like when
almost like I got a similar comparison to that. It's almost like a Biggie and Jay-Z comparison if you're going to do that because Big L,
No, it's a big L. It's a big L Jay Z comparison.
no,
it
it's a Big
Because
is.
L to Jada, Big L to
But
Jada.
now I see what
Well,
Mikey T saying. Like
Jada to
y'all,
Jada.
we basing that off of potential, which is
Mhm.
true because they like dudes like Big L was like he was in the midst of the greats at that right time. Like if he wasn't cut short, then he would have. You know what I'm saying? But like
Facts.
Mikey T is saying, we talking about accomplishments that you can't take away from people that you can't really say because they didn't accomplish what them dudes is messed up that they was cut. You know what I'm saying? They was killed, but they
Yeah.
still, nevertheless, they didn't accomplish what them dudes accomplished.
You can't weigh
Yeah.
up
like,
accomplishments though.
you can say that
You
about
can't
Biggie and Pop. You can say that
yeah,
about Biggie and Pop though.
No,
yeah,
But
I
you
you
am.
still
can't wait.
put them up there as
You
the greatest.
you can't
Yeah,
accomplish
No, I am saying that about Biggie. I am saying that about Biggie in the comparison to Jay-Z because, Biggie wasn't around long enough to accomplish a lot of the things Jay-Z has now accomplished.
And neither
Jay-Z,
was Big L.
that's why I'm saying in comparison to Big L to Jada. Big L wasn't around long enough to do the things that Jada has done over the course
I
of
see
25
what
years.
you're saying.
You know what I
I see
mean?
what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Mike.
Like I had 20 years to watch Jadakiss now. You know what I mean? I only had 2 or 3 years to watch. You know what I mean? The
Right.
other
No,
guys.
you're right, Mike. I misinterpreted. You're right, though.
It's all good. It was a great conversation for everybody. Twiz, you had something you wanted to say, bro? You were kind of cutting out. I don't know if do something to your internet or something, Twiz. Is your internet on?
It's storming where I'm at, but yeah, I'm connected to the
Yeah, the
Wi-Fi and
rain
all that.
coming down. The rain coming down in the city, Twiz.
Yeah, it's thundering and all that.
It is.
But
Yeah.
Mikey,
I think we good here. You're good. The floor is yours, Twiz.
okay, yeah, Mikey, you got a great point of view. But I was just saying who Big L was, and I feel like even the time that Kiss flow been consistent, but that he really accomplished as much as somebody that been in the game as long as he was. That's like we would have to compare his accomplishments to somebody like Jay-Z, then you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So it's like
Twiz, we could compare him to Beans because as you were saying that, I was thinking Jadakiss hasn't been plagued with jail time or hospital visits like Beanie Sigel was, and Beanie Sigel and Jadakiss both have about 5 albums, you know? And I had said earlier before you logged on, Bonds, I think in a perfect world, Beanie Sigel would probably have double that in his catalog. Beanie Sigel.
Nah, but Beanie Sigel won that battle between him and Jadakiss, though.
Jada won the war, though.
Good point. Good point.
I mean, look at the
both made
statement I
great
just read
points.
out, Bonds. Bonds, look at the statement I just read out from Beans. Beans wrote it on his Instagram. He said, "Damn, I can tell my grandkids Pop stood toe to toe and went the distance with the most dangerous MC ever."
yeah, but at the end of the
Then
day,
after that, he gonna tell his grandkids that he was the best ever, though.
Right.
yeah,
Sure.
but and also you gotta remember Beans is paying homage because even before the battle, this is the locks, like that's what we listen to. You gotta remember Kiss was relevant when Biggie was relevant. We all listened to Biggie. It was no Beanie Siegel out back then. We talking about somebody that was a legend before Beans got a chance to be with the Rock. So it's like more of a homage thing right there. You know what I mean? Nothing taken away from Kiss work ethic. You know what I mean? He's a very consistent spitter.
Because Beanie already said, Siegel already said it. He said the reason why I'm signed to the Locks, because the reason why I'm signed to the Rock, because I listen to the Locks and I listen and I watch.
Facts.
He told you that back in '98.
Facts. I feel like even when smoking that set like that, it's just like, at the end of the day, it was a good joint, but how much is that really counted for?
Hold on, guys. Iceberg said, "Don't pressure Bonds to change his answer." Jadakiss had a few mediocre albums. Mixtapes and bars are different. Some may argue Papoose is a better lyricist than Jada.
And Siegel got him, though. Siegel got him.
No. Listen, maybe let me take this word. Rosewood. Maybe back in the day, maybe back in 2005, you could try to argue that Papoose was better than Jadakiss. But with total hindsight and seeing where we are right now, Papoose got nothing on Kiss. Are you crazy?
Yeah, he don't.
Jadakiss is
not 05. 05, he jumping champions here. Mixtape series. Killing it. Like, strong.
Papoose.
You can argue. Bonds, what do you think? In 05, you can argue Papoose was better than Kiss. But in 2021, that's no argument.
I would never argue that.
I agree with Bonds on that.
Facts. Yeah, give our bro Pap the benefit of the doubt.
I love Pap. That's my brother.
No.
That was never an argument.
That was never an argument.
I swore it was an argument back then.
No, sir.
Damn.
Niz all.
Papoose remind me of a reincarnated reincarnated Big L or something, you know what I mean? On some real rap stuff, like, you know what I mean?
All right, so who y'all got? Papoose or RJ Payne? I'm gonna go one at a time. Everybody in the chat too. RJ Payne or Papoose? I'm going one at a time, guys. And we're gonna start it off with you, Twiz. Remember, drink or answer. Drink or answer, Twiz.
I'm gonna go with Papoose over RJ Payne.
What?
I'll
Please
go with
explain.
Papoose over RJ Payne.
Any explanation?
Oh, and the explanation is like we talking about somebody like on some real rap, bro. Before he was RJ Payne, he was Rain Man. Where you had people in the city that was hotter than him on DVDs, bro. Like Quilly, like come on, man. We got rappers from the DVD that we can still spin around corners and catch them outside. That was giving Rain Man was great as a part of the group. You know what I mean? But Papoose would hold his own by himself on a more a higher pedestal. You know what I mean? We ain't going we can't do that. Papoose will definitely I respect Papoose bars over RJ Payne.
All right, Bonds. What? Hold on, Rosewood. Let me bring it to you.
I'm going with Papoose.
What?
Twiz already broke it down. Twiz broke it down perfect.
Doesn't make any sense.
I was already gonna go with Papoose, but Twiz broke it down perfect.
Facts.
Bonds. Do you even have an answer?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go with RJ Payne.
My man, right here. My man, right here.
For the simple fast crazy. I'm going against Pap twice in a row. That's crazy. You know what it is? Pap is. I would say this. They both equally is nice, but the thing is, I pick RJ Payne because I never heard a verse from RJ Payne that I didn't like.
Right.
I heard verses from Pap that I didn't like.
Okay, thanks. I can agree with you on that.
You know what I mean? So that was it.
I like it. I like it, man. Wow, I like it, man. And honestly, I'm going with RJ Payne as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm going to go with RJ Payne on a level of consistency, you guys. I'm going to go. And even though Papoose was driven back then, you know, he was working with K Slay, right? He was driven back then, you know, he was releasing shit, Alphabetical Slaughter, really long freestyles and shit.
Yeah.
But RJ Payne has that consistency as well. And I'm just going to say I'm a little bit more interested in his bars. And they're a little bit more in my face. I can find them easier than I was able to find Papoose's shit back in the day. Back in the day, I would have to go buy like an album to hear the Alphabetical Slaughter. And I was like, so I got to buy that right there to hear the Alphabetical Slaughter. I think I'm going to go try to find it on LimeWire or something. Damn it. I just gave people a little bit of an inside look about my life. But yeah.
I would say
What's up, Twiz?
I would say RJ Payne is more relevant now, but you know, at the end of the day, he been consistent since he switched to RJ Payne, but it was always that gap. We gotta remember when he was Rain Man. He was Rain Man before anything. You know what I mean? He was Rain Man. He was known from the DVDs, and then he took a big break, and then he came back as RJ Payne.
Iceberg says, "Don't act surprised, Mikey. I'm going with Pap too." Wow.
Iceberg, salute my G.
Iceberg
Salute
in the building.
Iceberg.
Bonds. There was obviously everyone knows Dipset versus the Locks, but another battle there was rumblings, another verses that they had people had talked about, even the artists involved had talked about was Beanie Sigel versus Nore. You remember seeing them going back and forth online?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So everybody gave their thoughts. Twiz and Rosewood gave their thoughts on it, and Ab even gave his thoughts. I was kind of the odd man out. This is what Ab had to say. Ab said, I think Beanie is more skilled. I think Beanie is a more skilled rapper than Nore, but I'm not sure if Beanie has more hit records than Nore. I believe Nore had more commercial success than Beanie, but I believe Beanie has better songs overall. So Bonds, what's your take on a potential versus with Beanie Sigel and Nore? Who would win that thing?
Ab had a very good analysis, and I want to almost agree, but I'll lean more. That's crazy because I love Beans, man, but Nori raised me a little bit. I could say I'm a Queens nigga, man. So, the War Report, Blood Money. Oh man, I'm Nori. I'm with Nori, man. I'm on the run. Yeah, I'm with Nori, man. Yeah, that's exactly what Ab said though. Nori got more hits. Like Beanie is probably a better rapper with the bars. You know what I'm saying? But as far as records and hits, I think Nori gonna edge that.
Wow. Holy. Another person agrees with me. Isn't that crazy, Twiz?
Yeah, that's good, man. That's what I was saying earlier, man. It's just like with Locks and Dipset. A lot of people pretty much it was the same way with Locks and Dipset. It was like the same approach with that. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable. Nori definitely a legend.
How many? My bad. How many club records Beans got?
It ain't about club records. It's about what's the impact when that music drop.
Whoa,
What's
but
the
Twiz.
what's
But
the
Twiz.
impact when that music drop? That's like saying how much
Yeah, but
club records did the
But
Locks
what's it
got.
when it drop at Versus?
Yeah, but
It's going to
Twiz.
drop, bro. It's going to drop.
Hold on 1 second. He's back in. The bro's back in. Yo, you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it, Rosewood. But yo, Bonds is a Queens dude. Bonds is a Queens dude. He went with Nori.
A
Hey,
club, just because it's a club record, it don't mean
Hey.
that the song is better.
We're not done. We're not done either, Twiz. Listen, bro,
No.
I understand, Twiz, you're the hood blogger and all that, but I want you to answer Bonds' question. How many club songs does Beanie Sigel have? Tell me. I want to
So
know.
listen, so with Bonds, are you trying to say that you need club songs to win the verses?
All right,
What
so let
part
me
of
read the
We
what
just
record.
part of
want
the
to know
game is
how
that?
many he's got.
All right,
We
let me
just
don't
read
do
the
want to
that.
record.
know.
Not club songs. Shits with the bounce. Shits with a bounce. Shits
You
that
don't
get
need
you
a
out your
bounce to
feet.
win the verses. Dipset
No, we're
tried
not
that.
saying that. We're not
It
saying that,
don't
but we
matter.
want to know. Can you not? Beanie Sigel music, guys. Tell us.
Listen, we are talking about a hip hop versus, not a club song versus. If that's the case, we could bring Lil Jon out. You know what I mean? We talking about a hip hop versus. It's like you can't go with the club songs. You know what I'm saying? That's not that angle not gonna work.
Philly in
But
the building.
Yo, but
Let's say get.
Rosewood,
all
I just want to get an answer to the
You
question,
don't want
though.
to answer the question.
Like, I just want to get an answer to
he
the
don't
question.
know. I can answer it though. He don't got. I can't really name too much because he ain't
Does
that
he?
type of
He
artist.
really doesn't. Beanie doesn't really have one club song, you guys.
You
He
know
do.
how to get in the
He
club.
got they got Rock the Mic. You know what I mean? They
We
You
was
got
know
on
how to
that.
get in the club.
Now you
What
know
was
how
Okay.
going
Matt
on?
come through on the club tip. Everybody real deep on the thugs.
but
Yeah,
that's not
you
really
know how
Everything
to
that's
get in
beginning.
the club.
but
Mac, bitch.
that's not really a club party song though. He's still
Beanie is the name that they gave me. It's
Okay.
it's that
Yeah.
era.
That
yeah,
right
We
there.
made
That
bangers
too.
for
That's
that
what I
era.
mean, like a banger. I mean
No,
bangers.
I
Like
yeah.
just wanted to.
It was for that era. It was
He's
for
got
all
some
three.
shit to bring to the table, is all I'm saying.
He do. He definitely do.
Mac.
He don't got more club bangers than Norby, but he got some real impactful. He got some one hitter quitters. He got a lot of one hitter quitters.
He got any hood classics?
Of course, his whole dialogue is hood classics.
I think even a Beanie Sigel club record would be a hood classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look at what Iceberg's saying right here. And nobody's really contesting it. But Iceberg said Dipset has more club songs than the Locks, but still lost.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's the same
But
thing
they
people
don't
are
really
saying.
have more club songs than the Locks. They don't.
do. They do. Most of their
You
music
gotta
is
think
club.
about the Benjamins. You gotta think about the Money, Power, Respects.
They
You gotta
got
think
more.
about
They got more album and mixtapes. They got like album mixtape songs. I
They
won't say
do.
more club songs.
It's still
Dipset was
banging.
using most of Dipset music is club songs. They talk about clubbing, partying, popping bottles, and all that.
Sure.
That's most of their dialogue.
Oh, Rock the Mic is fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Shit,
is.
bro.
Definitely is.
They took
That was
that-
my man P. Crack.
That's my
Yep.
shit. They took
Yeah.
that already. She said she spoke la la.
Flip side.
And she my
Native.
my. That's my
Native
shit.
says Dipset choked though. Yeah, they kind of did.
I ain't gonna say they choked.
They
Cam did.
They
Cam
can't
choked
beat
at
the
the
Locks,
end.
bro.
Cam choked at the end when he tried to do the acapella. That was a bad
Yeah,
joint
when he
right
tried
there.
to do acapella, that was whack.
Yeah, I felt bad for him right there, man. That killer Cam, man. Like y'all ain't gonna let me go.
Niggas
Damn.
was letting him go too.
I was
got his
I was actually talking more figuratively, Twiz. But you're saying Cam literally choked on the stage?
He did at the end when he went acapella. Yeah, he choked. Cam choked because the crowd. That reminded me of a URL battle right there. He was getting caught up with the crowd reaction. He fumbled before they dropped that beat again.
Guys, I'm bringing in the big homie. The homie. Chicago's in the building. Death of
Oh
the Clout
man,
Chaser.
Death of a Clout Chaser
Yo,
in the
salute,
building.
family, salute, man. Blessings,
What's
blessings, family.
salute, King.
What's up with you, bro? Thanks for
Hey,
tapping
man,
in, man.
trying to survive, family. But I'm trying to tap in on this whole Beanie Sigel versus Nore. I'm like, man, I'm thinking Nore got him though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
Hey, Nore, he owned two eras. You know what I'm saying? He got two eras coming from the East Coast. Like, so he had two careers where I see shit like that. If it was like a little stop, then he came back busting. You feel me? And like,
like Arlena's cousin.
yeah, when you playing against him, it's like, I don't know. It's like it's certain records that Beanie Sigel can play, but I know like it's certain records that I know Nore got that he gonna blow your mind with. You feel me? It's gonna be a good one though. It's gonna be like the
Definitely.
Dipset and Locks for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because Beanie
Definitely.
Sigel definitely gonna hold his own.
So, bro, you feel like this is actually a good pairing for Beanie Sigel going up against Nore?
Yeah. I think it's dope. I think that's definitely for the culture. Let me see who I can think of. Did y'all discuss that? Like who could probably possibly go against Nore if it was or somebody else or Beanie Sigel?
Twiz had actually suggested Styles P going up against Beanie Sigel.
That wouldn't work either because I think Styles P got damn near 3 careers. You know what I'm saying? He came back in damn near 3 eras.
You got a point.
Feel me?
So you
he
think
could
Styles
play
P would
around
take?
with
So you think Styles P would take Beanie Sigel as well?
Hell yeah, and he take probably Nore too.
With no Locks records though, just Styles records though.
Yeah, just Styles. I think it's just Styles records because
I like Beanie.
no, not just Styles records. Like no, I say like they don't do verses like that with just you know what I'm saying. So they have to do features. They have to
Yeah.
they got to use you know what I'm saying what they use, but
all
they
this shit is on for play.
yeah, it's on
That's
display. So
Facts.
if it was going head to head with Nore at that point, when it comes to Styles P, maybe not, or even Beanie Sigel. But Beanie Sigel head to head with Styles P, I think Styles P will definitely get him though.
I want to see Nas and Hove. I want to see
With
Nas
just Styles P records. I'm thinking with just Styles P records.
I think he could use Jadakiss records in there. I don't think that would really be much of a big
Yeah,
deal.
he would have to probably.
Yeah, he would have to if he was going to get the clear cut. I mean, you. It sounds like you think it would be an easy victory. I think honestly, from the way that my bro Death of the Cloud Chaser got it lined up, it's Nore would take Beanie Sigel, which I already agree with, and then he's saying Styles P would take Beans, but then Styles P would more than likely take Nore as well, which I agree with you. So I'm in 100% agreement with Death of the Clout Chaser right now, and Styles P being at the top. I think Jadakiss is at the top though right now, you guys.
Yeah, see, that's different. Like when it comes down to Jadakiss, like head to head with all them guys, that wouldn't be a good versus. You know what I mean? So you'll
So,
have to put Jadakiss against somebody else, and let me see,
all right,
Jadakiss.
Bonds. It looks like you want to respond to that. Who
Yeah,
is the
because
guy? Who is the guy to put up against Jadakiss then?
see, because I'm thinking we can't be prisoners of the moment. One, two, we got to think this. Jadakiss and them, they went up against Dipset. With all due respect, though, like you know what I'm saying. Even when Jadakiss went up against Fab, he beat him, but he didn't beat him like he did them other dudes. So I think Beanie would be a better match with Jadakiss because Beanie got some joints with Jay-Z that's fire. Like he still would lose, but he would lose because not because he got better, because Jadakiss got more stuff than him. You know what I'm saying? He just got.
Well, Bonds, respectfully, man, Twiz kind of said that a better matchup for Beans would more than likely be Styles P. So we're gonna need somebody of another level to come at Kiss. In all honesty,
Yeah,
Twiz, do you have any ideas?
Pusher.
yeah.
Pusha T is good. Pusha T is
Pusher
good
that'll
thought.
be a good versus between Jada and Pusher.
Kiss a smoke pusher.
You think so?
Yeah, Kiss a smoke pusher. I can
So who
see
do you
that.
think, Twiz? Who do you think should be stepping up to Kiss if they're gonna bring him out? Which I think he's the
Um,
MVP. They're probably putting together a bag for him.
um, I can't really see one artist that's still alive right now that can go with Kiss besides probably Jay-Z.
What about Ludacris,
Nah,
man?
Jay and Nas,
Nah,
I think they bigger than him. It got to
nah.
be Jay versus Nas.
Yeah, nah, not Jay-Z, man.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's that's like
Nah, Jay-Z is
going up
Nas.
against
Jay-Z
like
is Nas.
Hercules or something.
Got to be them two.
Who do
For
you
the
think?
that's who
Who do
the
you,
two kings.
who do you think Death of the Clout Chaser? Ted Kennedy actually says Jadakiss versus Ti. Ti's got anthems.
I can see that. I can see something like that.
Or 50.
I can see that. Yeah,
50
yeah.
Cent versus Jadakiss.
Plus,
I don't
eh,
know, because Jada might get him with the 50 might dig from the, because you're gonna have to go from the beginning to the top. So he gonna have to dig into the 90s and he gonna get his ass slayed. Like,
50 got shit though.
yeah, but I don't know if he don't got no shit from the 90s that's going. He
Yeah,
got a couple of tracks though. He got a couple of ones that he can put against some Jada songs, but not really
Jada
though.
gonna probably
That 90s shit.
yeah,
It's
Jada
gonna
might
be
get him.
Now
mostly
then going
G.
into the 2000s,
But going into
50
it,
Cent,
right?
he
50
gonna
will kill
rain
him.
though. He gonna rain on every song, bro.
Exactly. That's where you gonna catch him up at. That's where you gonna catch him and kill him at.
But guys, we had discussed that a few nights ago. Actually, Twiz, we were discussing that, right? 50 versus Jadakiss.
yeah.
But then more than likely they would come in and sign Ja Rule. They would eventually sign Ja Rule to come on, and it would be
Facts.
50
You know
versus.
what though? That's who you just named it right there.
Yeah.
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule and Jadakiss.
Yep.
That'd be a good versus
That'd
right
be a
there.
good one. Ja
That'd
Rule.
be a good versus. Ja Rule and Jada. They
Ja
definitely
Rule.
got. They definitely from the same boat. Like they both had the same amount of careers, damn near, and they got them eras. So
I
I
can fuck with
guarantee
that.
you,
You put them.
hell yeah,
You
hell yeah.
You
Oh,
put
somebody
them.
said Meth or Red too.
Rule got shit from
Method
the
Man,
90s
Method
going
Man
into the
too.
2000s. Rule man, that's that boy.
Method Man might
You,
smoke Jadakiss.
you put them two on the stage, they gonna end up fighting on that joint, man.
Oh, Meth and
50
Red
and
versus Styles and
50 and
Jadakiss.
Ja Rule, somebody gonna get punched on that stage.
Nah,
Yeah, you got
They got a
Ja
lot of
Rule
tension.
versus Jadakiss, but I think
he already won though, bro. He won that battle, so it ain't even no reason to even have a versus with him
Yeah,
because he won that era. Like they
Bro.
literally battled already. He
50 ain't
won.
gonna do it anyway.
He
not
won
unless you get
already.
paid.
So wow, you know what I'm saying?
If you get paid like $1 million, couple $1 million, I see why doing it. But other than that, why do it? I agree with you.
It's like Floyd
They
Mayweather.
doing
You can
it.
go do De La Hoya again too and get paid probably a
True.
$500,000. I mean
True.
$500 million.
Yeah.
$500
True.
million for that. But you think he doing it? Hell no, that's past, man. I
True.
already won.
Yeah, he won the war, like Mikey said earlier. You know what I'm saying? He really won the war, bro. Like,
He won. Why
yeah.
go back? You got to put him up with somebody who, like, he already ain't defeated. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Jadakiss, that's cool, but I think 50 will knock him out the box because Jada started to win them 90s. Then, soon as they start pulling out them records into the 2000s, 50 gonna cut him up. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go crazy. And his DJ gonna go nuts.
Kiss.
Y'all ain't gonna hear no verses
I,
like that, bro.
I
Well,
got
technically,
Kiss
guys.
over 50.
Well, technically, guys, when would Ja Rule's records start to get bad? You know,
He don't really got no bad records. It's
They
just like
stopped.
the impact though. The impact stopped.
would the people
Yeah.
not like Clapback?
Clap that with Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played it enough. It was definitely a culture because they played it enough. They pushed it.
Okay.
That shit was all I know was in Chicago. Like they played it on BET when I
Nah,
was
they played
watching
that
on
shit.
6. They played it on the radio. Clap back. We gonna clap back. They played that shit like an anthem.
So how's that gonna go up against 50 Cent's Hustlers
But it
Ambition?
ain't timeless though. It ain't a timeless track. They pushed it on us. It ain't timeless.
Yeah, that's
Is,
a fact. That's a
Is
fact.
Hustler's Ambition gonna kill Clapback?
I got 50 over Ja Rule if they was on the verses.
I got 52 because 50
Yeah.
went all the way down to 2010 with this shit.
Facts. Even his early mixtape stuff before, you know what I'm saying? He
Because
can
he's
go early
actually
mixtape.
90s. Like he can compete with Ja Rule with his shit in the 90s, but I'm not
Facts.
seeing 50 can compete with Jadakiss shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
shit they was doing.
Oh
You know
no,
what I'm saying? Them
Jadakiss
niggas
would
was
wipe him
cutting
out.
up.
Yeah.
Who, 50?
Yeah, Jadakiss
Yeah.
would wipe him out.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the
Kiss a
90s.
I
mop
don't know,
50.
bro.
Kiss a mop 50 up, bro.
I'm saying he did it. He mopped him up in a battle already.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's why 50 ain't right back to that one.
He'll beat him with the group records and he'll beat him with the solo records, I believe. I mean, what's 50 gonna come up with? Just a little bit?
50
But
50
you know who 50 need to go against, like you said, like it's like a person who we overlooking, and that's probably why 50
Yeah,
probably
like Method Man in it, man. I'm telling you.
no, the king of the South. The king of the South. 50
Tip.
used to be the king of New York. You know what I'm saying?
That'd
They
be a good one.
do the verses.
50 and T.I.
They need to do the verses, but the fans don't want
Yeah,
it.
that
I think
yeah,
that's the one that 50 will do.
yeah.
Oh, the fans don't want it?
Hell no.
Yeah. Yeah, they already pushed T.I. to the side when they did that Gucci Man battle. You know, Gucci Man versus it was that originally going to be T.I. versus Jeezy, but then they booted T.I. to the side when they got an opportunity to get Gucci.
It made more sense.
Yeah.
Because Gucci, I mean T.I., he was gonna probably win against Jeezy though, and Jeezy my favorite artist.
Let me ask y'all this: 50 and Rick Ross.
50 and Rick Ross is that's a good one.
Ross, my opinion, I'll get this kicked off. My personal opinion, I guess Ross is going to outlast him when it comes to music because Ross kind of has like 7 or 8 albums now, whereas 50 topped out after 4 albums.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't even really that hot on the 4th album.
That man got hits, man, like out the hits. Like I wouldn't put Rick Ross against 50 Cent. That one, I would like to see it just for the hell of it, but it wouldn't be good for the culture. But I say Rick Ross, he should go up against like
Should have been Ross versus Jeezy.
that would have been good. Yup,
Yeah,
they both
that
Actually,
definitely would
no,
have
they
been
can still
good.
do that. They can still do that because but
Yeah.
Bonds, what was your thoughts on that battle, that versus?
Which one?
The one we were just predicting.
50 and Ross.
Yeah, 50 and Ross.
I think 50 got Ross. I ain't gonna lie. I think 50 got Ross. I want to see who got Method Man though. Somebody got me on Method Man in them comments, man.
Bonds, Method Man already did a versus with Redman, and he also did a battle with Math Hoffa. So I think you got your Method Man fix.
But still, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even see the Method Man and Rad Man.
It was more of a concert. I think a lot of people
Yeah,
were
it was
kind of
because they was a group,
disappointed
so
with it.
that really ain't count. They was like they
Yeah,
rapped
they ain't count.
together, so it's like, you know what I mean?
That's why I like seeing Dipset versus the Locks. It was like such a throwback to what we loved with Gucci Man versus Jeezy. You know, it was like, oh shit, these guys are actually going to talk shit to one another. These guys are actually going to interact with one another like that. This is like really great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more of them shits now. I think they're gonna turn it up.
Yeah.
Is this more appropriate? Death of the Cloud Chaser. Is this more appropriate for Rick Ross? Fat Joe versus Rick Ross?
Yeah. I actually can see Fat Joe probably damn near. He gonna probably damn near almost win. Oh, it's gonna be up for debate. I gotta see how they move their records around for that one because that'd be a good one. Because they both got eras. Like, well, not like Rick Ross. He been around for over like damn near going into 15 years or like 14 years.
Yep. No, you're 15 years, 2005.
Yeah.
But even longer than that,
8
man, because
albums.
he was writing. He was
Yeah.
writing for people like Trina and shit.
But I can definitely see that. But Fat Joe, all them years, even though Fat Joe, he gonna hang with. Matter of fact, I can see Fat Joe against Jadakiss though too. Like honestly, that'd probably be a good one right there. And you know who I would pick over Fat Joe and Jadakiss? Fat Joe
Fat Joe and who?
He
versus
said
Jadakiss.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say something different. You're saying you would actually take Fat Joe over Jadakiss.
Yeah.
only
I don't know,
thing.
man.
Oh, Kiss. I'll
What's up,
take
Twitch?
Kiss over Fat Joe. The only thing that Fat Joe could possibly ever do in the verses is pull up the Jones with him and Pun. He had to pull Pun up on that one, like he would
Yeah,
have
but
to.
that could be his 90s shit. Like
He's
he can
got a
do that.
whole lot more than that.
And he can do that though. He got a whole lot of shit, bro. In the 90s, bro. And he went
Yeah, he
into
do
the
got hits,
2000s heavy.
but Kiss in the '90s too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like competing wise, I'm
It would.
thinking that it'd be a good one, like on some real shit. And I'm thinking that Fat Joe will win that shit.
Yep. Fat Joe's got some anthems. I mean, that's why you could put him up against Rick Ross. What's your take on that, Bonds? Fat Joe and Kiss. Obviously, I'm still rocking with Kiss.
That's a mean one. Yeah, I would still go with Kiss. So
Is 50 Cent versus Fat Joe? Is that more interesting, you guys, than Rick Ross versus Fat Joe?
I can live with that one.
I feel like Fat Joe and Nore would be a good versus. Not to discredit from Beans and Nore, but I feel like Fat Joe and Nore would be a good fight.
Hell no. Fat Joe a bigger artist than Nore.
Fat Joe is a high-statured artist. The man has released so many albums as the face of the album, you know?
Yeah, like he can't not Fat
Fat
Joe.
Joe is up there with T.I., Ludacris, Ja Rule, you know what I mean? Nore Nore was a part of a duo as well, you know what I mean? Who and now he's more of he's killing the media. And some people in the chat do agree that Nore is bigger right now than he's ever been. What do you guys think about that? Is that wrong or is that right?
That's
Just
wrong.
He's just relevant because of what he's doing and keeping up with the damn times and with the podcast and all that. I feel like he's just super relevant.
And Death of the Cloud Chaser, you said you think he was probably more relevant during the Super Thug days. I mean, not relevant, more rich, or more.
No, like relevancy and rich is different, but when it comes to relevancy, I would say he was more relevant with Pharrell. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole vibe. That was like a whole era. Like that shit molded a lot of way people make music after that shit. They did a lot of changes with that music they was making in. It was some minority thoughts that sparked some of the shit that Pharrell was able to do moving forward with other artists. So, no.
Yeah, you would say that was the height of his career.
That was the big, yeah. That was probably the biggest he ever probably like seen himself. Because you got to think of the crowd. Like Super Thug, like he's a thug. So you know what I'm saying. Even though it's touching over and it's crossing over to certain lanes, but
And it was flashy as hell.
Yeah, but you got Pharrell, Bathing Ape. You got, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You got the damn Asian guy, the white guy. You know what I'm saying?
You got these guys who went on to order, like Capone was just telling me in an interview, they ordered like 50,000, or like in food. You know what I mean? They would call this spot and ordered 50 plates of some shit. So yeah, they were at a height. I think right now in Nore's career has to be comparable to that, man, because I think he's getting more respect than he ever got before right now, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little bit off. Maybe I'm a little bit off because
yeah, I think so. You off because he didn't say, because he even said it on like record that, I mean, like he said in interviews, he said that he like had to, he started to like to see some of these type of things differently when he went to Miami. So like he like credit Miami for like the best time of his life. So him crediting Miami for the best time of his life, he wasn't in Miami doing like the Super Thug era and that shit like that, right?
He was creating Drink Champs.
No, he been in Miami, like him and Fat Joe been in Miami, like even I think with Pharrell and them back then they was in Miami. They been in Miami like first for a long time. They used to just say they was in New York, but I think them niggas been in Miami for years.
Yeah, I'm just saying right now with Drink Champs, it's a comparable height to probably.
Drink Champs is big, but it ain't like you got to think, bro. We
No,
know
I mean, I was there.
We know it's part of the culture for sure. But look, he got episodes like his latest episode probably didn't even go 500,000 or something, right? Over a week. Imagine this though, his video being played like damn near every hour on TV. In your home, my home, and everybody home from everywhere else. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's popularity at its finest.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember witnessing Nore at a point of his career when he was releasing the album. What was it called? Student of the Game. You know what I mean? When he was like completely independent, doing it on his own and shit like that. You know what I mean? I was actually able to be in the vicinity of Nore at that point because I lived in Miami and shit. So to see him go from that point where he was the most completely independent guy to now being seemingly on top of the industry again, he's gotten it back, man.
No, he definitely survived, and I salute him 100 because like he even putting other people on from his crew. Like now they able to do something. Like, I love when I see Capone on the episode. Like damn, he making sure, you know what I'm saying. Even on this shit, Capone, sit your like, let's do this shit, nigga. You don't know how to interview well, just talk, nigga. Talk and drink, nigga. Feel me?
Yeah, man. I was trying to think of some other rappers who have survived like that. There's got to be other rappers that come to mind, man. But
it's one who popular right now.
Nore versus Tam, Jada versus Busta. Christopher says he didn't like Nore's reggaeton.
Oh, Master P. Master P.
Nah, that wasn't my thought on it. That wasn't my thought on a guy.
But he
who
did survive every era, though. He did.
No, I like how
Lil
you break
Wayne. Who
it
could
down
do a
into
versus
eras.
with Lil Wayne?
Cash Money versus No Limit.
You can't say Little. You weren't saying Little Wayne survived. Yeah, I was gonna say you can't say Little Wayne. Little Wayne has flourished.
Nah, I was saying who could do a versus with Lil Wayne.
Oh, who could do a versus with Little Wayne? What about T.I. for that one?
No, Wayne is smoked.
Hell no.
How would he smoke T.I.? T.I. has put out so many albums that have sold.
It don't matter, bro. Wayne got some shit Wayne got he one of them other artists who been in like a lot of eras, bro. That nigga got some shit.
Yeah, Wayne got more material than T.I.
Nobody fucking with Wayne.
I'm trying to think damn.
Yeah, so who could Little Wayne have a versus with? Obviously, it's not going to be somebody like Young Thug.
You have to do Drake. You have to do Drake. They did it already. You have to do Drake. They did it already.
The tour, yeah.
Rosewood, is there anybody else other than Drake that Little Wayne could do a versus with?
It'll be hard because T.I. I think he can get T.I. It'll be hard because Wayne is lyrical. He can make songs. He's versatile, and like Def the Couches said, different eras. He's different eras. So he can come at you with any way. His catalog too strong.
Yeah.
And the mixtapes sound like albums.
Trying to think.
What you gonna do with dedication to?
Yeah, Iceberg says it in the chat. Wayne versus Drake. Twiz, any other thoughts in regard to Little Wayne versus? While I try to think something up here. I mean, obviously, my idea of T.I. has been shot down, even though the man has about 10 to 15 anthems he could put up.
Jay-Z probably the only other one besides Drake that could step in the ring with him.
Yeah, bro, he got more than 10 anthems though. Like, bro, that nigga got cuts that people don't even know about. When they hear that shit gonna go through their blood.
Facts.
It's gonna be like, damn, Wayne won this shit.
So obviously, if T.I. isn't gonna work, 50 Cent versus Little Wayne.
It would have to probably be Jay-Z or Drake.
Maybe Rick Ross, he might can hang, but even then,
he wouldn't really be able to hang.
He can get smoked though. He gonna get smoked, but he can hang, but he gonna get smoked.
Bonds, you got any thoughts on that?
I say he could hang, but yeah, he will get smoked.
All right, so then I think the strongest opposition that we mentioned other than Drake is probably T.I.
Pretty much.
Jay-Z was standing in the ring with Wayne.
Would Jay-Z do that though? That's got to be the next question on our. I don't know. Would Jay-Z do that? Do you think that's something Jay-Z would do, Bonds?
I think he would go do it with Nas before he do it with Wayne.
Yeah.
So he's.
Yeah.
All right. So Jay-Z does. If Jay-Z does verses, they'll probably have to get him for a 3, or is it a 3 versus deal, or is it?
He can do Kanye.
It's a 3 versus deal. It's Kanye, it's Nas, and it's Lil Wayne. Am I missing anybody, you guys? That's it, right? 3 versus deal with Jay-Z.
That's about it.
Sound good to me.
All right.
Nas, Kanye,
and Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I got a feeling if Jay-Z were to do a versus, he would sign on for multiple, man. What would be the point of signing on for one? Make it a real
Roc Nation. It had to be a Roc Nation versus.
Yeah, you kidding me? It would be sold on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like Coachella. You know what I'm saying?
They would definitely have to give Hov like half of Billy. You know what I'm saying? He would definitely need like 500 million and step in
No,
the
no, no, no.
stage.
He said
Hell no.
270. Yo, Twiz. He
Jay
said
would.
275, and I just might agree.
Facts.
Yo, you
Jay
know
playing.
he would do. What do you think? Death of the Cloud Chaser, $275 million. Are they? I don't know. Can
But
they
you heard
really
him on
put
the
up
new
this?
you heard him on the new Kanye?
Nah, I didn't. What'd he say?
He on the new Kanye West album.
Damn.
Well,
He talking about he say on the verse he like the throne. This y'all can might as well say that watch the throne is back.
Dang.
But the he going in on the song and shit. But shit, they back. It wasn't 275 to get their ass back.
All right, you guys. We're not talking about a versus here, but let's just talk about in general production style. Kanye West versus Havoc. Whose production are you feeling more? Bonds. Let me kick it off with you.
man, that's crazy. Man, Kanye might have him slightly. It's not a huge, you know what I mean? But yeah, Kanye might be more well-rounded, man.
Well, Kanye shit works for New York. I mean, it's evident. Death of the Cloud Chaser. Let me bring it over to you, man. Havoc. You know, a lot of people know Havoc from the mid '90s when we're talking eras. His shit was booming then. You know what I mean? And then we saw it boom as well in the mid 2000s when they linked with G Unit. But Kanye West, Chicago native. Let me get your take on it.
No, I rock with Havoc production. Like shit, I've been listening to it for years. Like that's usually a lot of people back in the day. There was a lot of people first instrumentals. You know what I'm saying, to rap on because they was the ones that was available. His shit. You know what I'm saying? And but when it comes down to that, man, like I'm thinking Kanye West, man. He got him because he's still putting it down, bro. He's still putting it down. See, Kanye West, you got to think he only got like he's shy of a few years of Quincy Jones level, and he's still as young as he is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we got some good thoughts here. Twiz, let me bring it over to you.
I'm definitely rocking with Kanye. You know, that's I feel like Kanye, when he came out, he set a bar for the future. You know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, of course we had like Pharrell and them, you know what I'm saying, with the Neptune beats and all of that. But when Kanye came, man, he changed the world, bro. Like that was like the beginning of what's still going on right now.
But not even that, bro. Let me say this though. I don't mean to cut you off, but like I heard you say that, like you just saying about an era, but don't forget about his era with the Rockefeller, and
That's
he
what I'm
made
talking
all
about.
them songs with,
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what I'm
talking
saying?
about. That's what I'm saying. When he came out, he began the future. Like if you think about when Kanye came to the Rock, after that, State Property and all of them broke up, but Hov kept Kanye for a reason. He was a genius, and he saw the future. Like he was when he came out and when he came with Rock, he set a bar for the future of what's still going on today. You know what I mean? So he changed the game.
Damn, man. Well, I gotta go with Havoc, you guys. Havoc gave us so many classics. You know what I'm saying? Looking at all the music that he produced, Survival of the Fittest, you guys. He produced a lot of these tracks that we love from Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these tracks really shaped my lifestyle and my music selection going forth. So I'm definitely going with Havoc. And Havoc actually has a lot of new material still coming out to this day. Not saying Kanye West doesn't, but Havoc still has a lot of material coming out to this day. Rosewood, passing it to you.
I'm gonna go with Havoc. Just from all the work that he put in, and that's that era, and him still doing it to this day. He don't get the spotlight that he should, but he's definitely working. So if you don't tap in, you will give it to Kanye because you're not tapping all the way in to have it. You know, Kanye has a major machine behind him. Even when he was at Rockefeller, you know, having been doing it, he still can do it, and he can adapt to any artist. You know, in my opinion, I think Kanye West looks up to have.
And yo, you said Kanye had the ultimate machine behind him. I mean, like look at some of his music video sets. He's had some of the most elaborate videos. But Havoc has also been signed to a number of different labels, the most major labels, Jive Records, Interscope with G Unit, so they've definitely been in some of the biggest houses of music as well.
I ain't gonna lie, you really made me rethink that too. You right though. Have done a lot of crazy joints out. You right. I'm gonna have to switch that up, man.
Great, Havoc got great, and not just for Miles Deep, other artists too.
Have is that dude.
Kanye did a lot
He
of
made
work
the
that
wild shit with
Kanye also
Jadakiss
did,
too.
but Kanye also did a lot of work that people be forgetting about, man. Kanye came out a working machine, and he did a lot more overall.
But didn't Kanye produce on a Reasonable Doubt?
Yeah, he been producing.
Yeah, he wasn't even signed to the Rock then. Like
Yeah, he
produce
been
on Reasonable
producing
Doubt.
behind closed doors. He
I think
got
it
a
was
lot.
Reasonable Doubt or it was Hard Knock Life value.
It might have been
One
Hard
of them.
Knock
That's a
Life.
tight one. Yes, got fire.
It might have been Hard Knock Life. But
I
he
don't
did a
think
lot
he
of
did
behind the
Reasonable
scenes
Doubt.
stuff.
Kanye didn't do Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, he didn't do Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah,
Hard Knock Life Volume 2. They on there?
Yeah, I think he came along and
No, he came that early, like real talk.
Yeah, he
came
was
that
doing
early.
stuff in the late '90s on the low.
Yeah, he was doing shit on J album. I think it was hard.
I think he did the Blueprint, Kanye.
He did the Blueprint, the Black album. He did all that.
He was before that.
Because the Kanye was with the Tribe Called Quest and all them.
Oh, they said it was a Dynasty album. I knew it was
the Dynasty
yeah.
John.
Yeah, it was the Dynasty.
You right. The Dynasty John.
Which was actually, that album was actually released in 2000.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, his name wasn't ringing
Wasn't
in
that
2000.
Blueprint?
Like
that was after Blueprint?
That was not after Blueprint. That was before the Blueprint bonds. That was 1 year before the Blueprint.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Same time. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, man. We really got the chat lit up with this one right here. I love when you can talk about some classic hip hop. Quiet Storm is probably my favorite. That's how I knew I couldn't go with, even though I love Kanye's production. I mean, especially my actual favorite person that would link up with, aside from Jay, obviously, was Cameron. I thought that they had a really great sound together. Wow, what do you guys think? Who did you guys think Kanye's production on the best?
Probably Jay-Z, I'd say.
Jay and they can.
Yeah.
Okay. Black Album. Favorite track from the Black Album? Tell me if I'm bugging, guys. Favorite track from the Black Album? Threats. Threat. Am I bugging?
Nothing wrong with that opinion. Yeah, I mean, the Black Album was just, to me, was an album that you could just play the whole John through, man. That's he had Pharrell on there. He had the Neptunes on the John and all that. Like,
right, Encore was on there.
We never met a nigga
that's
hot for this long.
Change Clothes, December 4th, all them Johns.
It snapped on that Encore shit.
Change Clothes was the only record you wanted to skip.
That was a hit, though. That was a hit.
I used to play that one.
Yeah,
and he had Dirt Off Your Shoulders on that album.
Yeah, he did. That's the one you wanted to skip.
He had Lucifer.
No, that was that shit.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Lucifer hit hard.
I used to skip
Oh,
that
cool.
the dirt joint.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing album. 50 Cent actually released the Beg for Mercy album the same week as that.
This bullshit game.
He outsold Jay, didn't he?
No, they did not outsell Jay. They did about 350,000 units first week, though.
Yeah, Jay had it on Smash. That joint.
Damn, Jay was still smashing on niggas.
Yeah, Jay was definitely.
Yeah, the Rock,
Nigga don't like that nigga.
marketing team. It was hard.
Now all them niggas podcasters and run these labels and shit. Now this
Fact.
crazy.
Fact.
Yeah,
Nigga literally
Yo, Iceberg.
surrounded right now. They all used to
Let me
work.
tell you something, Iceberg. Listen to the intro on American Gangster.
Oh no,
That's some of the
American
hardest
Gangster,
bars
man.
you'll ever hear in
Is that-
your life.
Party Life is my song on American
That
Gangster.
shit's crazy.
Party Life.
I'm trying to
Oh,
think
guys.
of the intro on that one.
Yo,
What's
guys,
that?
hold up one
Mad.
second. Before we get into that, let me just say this about the sales. The Beg for Mercy album, which was the second G Unit album that year, moved 377,000 units. That same week, Jay-Z's Black album moved 463,000 units.
So 50 Cent won, right?
Nah, 50 moved 377.
Oh, 377.
They
Okay.
won.
And the Black album moved 463. Now, on to this. I want to get your take on this. Did anyone else think that the American Gangsta album was whack, which featured Blue Magic, as well as, what was the title track called?
American Gangster.
American Gangsta? Let's see. No, it was Rock Boys. It was Rock
Yeah.
Boys and Blue
Yeah.
Magic.
Oh yeah, Rock Boys. I remember that with the Beanie Sigel version. Oh, Beanie Sigel was in the video.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good track as well. Rock Boys.
Whoa.
He had No Hook on there. He had Hello Brooklyn with Lil Wayne on there.
yeah, he did. That's a fact.
From what I'm remembering, this album was actually not that bad. And I want to say it moved around 250. No, this album moved 425,000 first week.
Damn.
And it was released in 2007. So put it in perspective. His other album, the Black Album, released in 2003, 463,000 units. And then 4 years later, 2007, he's releasing an album selling 425,000 copies, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Working.
Facts.
And we got that team behind you. It's a well-oiled machine.
Facts. On that whole joint, I think Blue Magic was like that beat, the way that joint dropped and everything. He walked Blue Magic down.
Yo, don't you remember I was singing Rock Boys in the Building Tonight a little bit earlier in the stream?
Facts.
So that shows you that album right there actually wasn't all that bad. Let me read off a couple more tracks, see if anybody remembers anything. American Gangster was actually a bonus cut. He had Success featuring Nas. He had Ignorant Shit featuring Beanie Sigel.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that joint was on there. Yeah, that's
a banger. Yeah.
And American Dreamin' produced by Diddy and Mario Winans.
Yeah, Christopher Gall. Ignorant Shit. That was my jam.
Yeah, so honestly, I think that was a pretty good album right there.
Definitely was.
Cook says, I never really peeped that album. I find that hard to believe that not many people peeped the American Gangsta album. It was slept on. Why was it slept on, Rosewood? Because it was a soundtrack?
Yeah, it was a soundtrack album.
Soundtrack and it went over a lot of people's heads.
The jazzy production?
Yeah, because like he was trying to seem like he was like the dude in American Gangsters. It was like confusing as hell. It was like, who the hell is this movie about Jay-Z? Like, what the fuck is going on? It was confusing in the motherfucker. Like me watching it.
All right, guys. They want us to do it. They want us to do it. J versus M. Death of the Cloud Chaser set us off, bro.
Jay versus Eminem. See, like me, I can't even speak on this because I'm not a fan of Eminem. Only thing I like from Eminem is Superstar. What is it? Superstar or Super? What was it?
Rap God.
Superman. No, Superman. I like
Yeah,
Superman
Superman.
from Eminem.
Okay,
I
from his
like
third album.
Dan, and I probably like one more song from him. That's it. So I can't really. I like tons of songs from Jay-Z. You feel me? So I can't even speak on it.
Right.
Okay, all right. So you, so basically, you had. I'm not sure when you had heard those records, but Stan is from Eminem's second album called the Marshall Mathers LP, which famously sold 1.1 million copies first week. And then Superman is actually from his third album called The Eminem Show. And Superman was actually his third single, I want to say. It was either his third or his second single. It was actually an X-rated single from that album that played on BET Uncut because he was like making fun of Mariah Carey in it. He had some chick dancing around scantily clad in it and shit.
And then Mariah came with a video of her own with a fake Eminem in it. She dressed
Obsessed?
up. Yep.
Yep. So, Rosewood, man, what would you say if we were talking about Jay-Z versus Eminem?
Gotta go with Jay. Gotta go with Jay. It's just a part. It's just a part of the hood life, the hood culture, the lyrics, everything about them. Like I'm talking about Crystal and Platinum when nobody was talking about it. That just made it stick on a higher level in the hood. It's a different art when it comes to Jay-Z.
Twiz, you want to take it from there?
You know, I agree. Jay-Z all day, man. You can't put Danielson against Mr. Miyagi, man. It's like Jay-Z. Jay-Z
Hold
is
on. Who's Daniel's son?
Eminem.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You want to know how he
What are you
Danielson?
talking about? You can't put Daniel's son up against Mr. Miyagi. Dr. Dre is the ultimate Mr. Miyagi.
You can't, yeah, because
he's a producer.
Yeah, he a producer, but also he a producer, and Dre ain't write a lot of his music from back in the NWA days. But at the end of the day, what I gotta
be
add,
saying that if Dre was from Philly.
No, it don't got nothing to do with that. It's a lot of rappers that I know will walk Philly rappers down, but when it come to that's somebody that Jay-Z, he idolized Jay-Z. Even though he did his thing on Renegade, you know what I mean? He murdered Renegade. I ain't gonna hold you. But Jay-Z is one of idols.
Superman was better than Renegade.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about he was on Renegade with Hove, and he did his thing on there.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah, he did it.
Oh, right there. That's a point. Basically, that's a point that Twiz is given an edge. Eminem actually outperformed Jay-Z on a track that they were on. Bonds, let me pass it over to you on that note. Like Twiz is saying, Eminem actually outperformed Jay-Z on his own record.
I don't know that to be true, really, though.
It was M's record originally, though.
Because
I thought it was just Eminem beat.
Yeah, it was Eminem and Royce the 5'9" were making the record together. And then Jay wanted a record from M. I just did an interview with Royce and he broke it all down. Jay hit Eminem up for a second time, like, yo, I need a record. So M is like, yo, Royce, I'm going to send Jay the Renegade track we had worked on. So then Jay-Z took the record for his album. I think it was The Blueprint.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And matter of fact, to Iceberg, I misspoke. That intro that I was talking about, that's Kingdom Come intro.
You talking about the prelude?
Yeah.
The prelude.
Oh, man.
That he snapped on.
Oh, my
God. Yeah, I thought you.
That's what I was
Somebody was going to bring that up.
The prelude was crazy, bro.
That was crazy.
Kingdom Come was cool. Kingdom Come was cool.
Yeah.
But Bonds, let's get your thoughts on Eminem versus Jay-Z, bro.
Nah, Jay got that.
Jay's got that all day?
Different level.
Okay, Jay's got that all day. So everyone's going with Jay. Death of the Clout Chaser doesn't want to give his perspective on it because he's not really all the way there on the Eminem material, which I respect, bro. You know, totally respect that because M and Jay-Z are both icons when it comes to this shit. A
Facts.
versus battle between them would be like a whole nother level. My thoughts on just I put Jay-Z at a higher level than M because of the way that he was able to elevate his record labels in the past. You know, that's one of the reasons. As far as Eminem's music goes, though, I really fell off after like the third album. After that album with Superman that you liked, Death of the Clout Chaser, his music kind of got weird. So I
with the
fell
album
off.
Superman.
Yeah, after the Superman album, his music kind of got weird, so I kind of fell off from it.
And that's when I started, like, I was tuned in to him, like, more so with the Superman album, and then I don't know what happened, and that's probably what happened.
Yeah, and then he made that one video where he was on the swing that you might have seen when he was like, "When I'm gone," and I didn't really like that Eminem too much.
Yeah.
He had a lot of dark shit going on back then.
Facts.
Facts.
There's a lot of dark music coming out at that during that time frame too.
He definitely did. I'm a Soldier
facts.
was that work too, though. I'm a Soldier.
Yeah, that's a banger to his. Yeah, he had bangers on those albums. You know, but
I'm a
like
Soldier.
saying, he's in the dark place at that time.
Yeah.
I believe I'm a Soldier and Hollywood. Those were actually featured on that album, the Shady, the third album. What was it called? The Eminem Show.
The Eminem Show, yeah, with the curtain on it.
Encore, I fell off. And then Relapse, I jumped back on. I liked Relapse, but then I didn't like Recovery. I didn't like Riders Helping Too. Wasn't into it so much.
Yeah, I was cool on them show.
Loved Kingdom Come though.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed American Gangster. You know what I mean? But that's not the same. I liked Kingdom Come though, man. What was that? 2009?
Yeah, that's about right.
2011
there somewhere.
Around 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
No. 2009 was the Blueprint 3. Watch the Throne was 2011. God damn, I'm way too ahead of it.
Damn, Watch the Throne was that long ago?
Yeah.
That time be flying, man.
Yeah.
Yep, Kingdom Come. God, Kingdom Come actually, you guys came before. Somebody threw me off saying American Hustle was Jay-Z's return album. Jay-Z's return album was Kingdom Come. And then American Hustle followed Kingdom Come.
Oh, American Gangster followed Kingdom Come. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kingdom Come was his comeback, John, and American Gangster was because of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. He kind of masked it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Jay-Z at his finest.
It's
I don't
business.
think I liked it, Kingdom Come. I gotta listen to that again.
Yeah, he had a major marketing plan for that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. A major marketing plan for that, though, man.
The real is back.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem's best material is pre-Dre. I disagree with that. I was not into Eminem's material pre-Dre at all.
Yeah.
Nah. He said, go listen to Recovery. Maybe I'll have to give that a try in the future, man, so I can stop saying I don't like it. Jay's been pretty consistent for a long time, aside from when he's saying he's going to retire.
But then he always come back.
He be needing to come back just to bring back that original essence of hip-hop.
Facts.
Do you think Jay-Z got any verses that's overrated that people be like that shit was extra fire when it wasn't?
Yeah,
Yeah, especially his later stuff, just because of who he is. You know what I mean? But a lot of artists do that too. Wayne
Hold
could do
on.
it. Wayne
But
could
let's
do it
be
too.
real. Let's be real. Back in the day, people wouldn't over glorify Jay-Z, I don't think. Like
No, not back in the day.
when girls came out, people weren't saying, "Oh, Jay-Z, he's the best in the world. He's the best ever." They were like, "Oh, girls came out, whatever." You know what I mean? It's not like they were overdoing it with Jay-Z.
That's true.
It's not,
that's
in
why I
my
had to get
opinion.
state property.
Huh?
That's why I had to
Facts.
get state property to bring that shit
Facts.
factor.
You were saying that earlier. And look, it resulted in the sales as well with Jay-Z because he would move what 1.5, 2 million copies and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Facts.
Yeah.
Girls is one of my favorite songs. I'm probably like 12 or 11 years old, but she was my
hell yeah,
shit.
hell yeah,
The,
bro. I heard that song like 20 times a day, man.
but that album overall was a classic. You know what I mean? That whole album overall, that was definitely a legendary album.
Man.
Yeah, Jay-Z was a genius when it came to this rap shit, man.
Facts.
But I mean, Eminem had some artists too, you guys. Like, aside from 50 Cent, I mean, 50 Cent was obviously just a genius business move. But what about Obi Trice?
Yeah.
Troy?
He
Troy?
They just got super quiet. I'm like,
What about the homie? Ah, damn. He's from Chicago. What about my homie from Chicago that was signed to Eminem? He be watching us all the time on here. The Loose Cannon.
okay.
Oh, he was signed to him.
Yeah, he was signed to him.
What's
But
his name is?
Cassius.
Oh yeah.
Cassius.
Okay. Like to me, what was it? D12.
Yeah, D12.
I used
Yeah.
to actually listen to D12. I might listen to more D12 songs than I like Eminem. Than I listen to Eminem by himself.
Boom. He had D12. He had 50 Cent. Y'all don't remember Obi Trice, obviously.
Opie Trice, that liquor and joint, that what was it, liquor, food and liquor or something. That album hard as hell. I used to listen to that over and over.
50,
Cheers.
Cheers, yeah, that shit is hard.
50 was his greatest investment.
Yeah.
D12 was a pretty good investment too, though. They sold a couple million, man.
I think they was like they used to sell as much as 50 back then, right?
Nah.
Nah. It seemed like they used to promote the shit out of them. It seemed like
D12 was entertaining with their music. Like they were real entertaining, like their videos and all that. They had a lot going on and stuff like that.
that's like people be talking about the music these days. Like it is crazy, but they had crazy music then. Cause I remember the song Pills.
Facts.
Yep.
She was like a crazy video too. And I remember they used to play that a lot on BT.
Yep, they did. They sold a few million singles as well as probably ringtones, all different types of shit, I imagine. Cams says Memphis Bleak was underrated. Memphis Bleak underrated.
He's one hit away.
I feel like Bleak played the position he was supposed to. Like Bleak album, Bleak album was definitely crazy though. Like
both of his first two albums was crazy.
Yep. He had some.
What about his third and fourth album?
Yeah,
Bleak could rap though. He could rap.
Yeah, Bleak could rap.
Bleak could definitely rap.
He got a classic with me.
You could say he underrated, but I feel like he played the role that Hov wanted him to play.
Bleak could do a versus with somebody.
He could.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he got a weed song that I get high rolling down.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
I know what you're talking about.
Someone said Memphis Bleak is rated where he belongs. That's not true, man. That's not true. Even the oh my God, who just said that? Who just said that Memphis Bleak can do a versus with somebody?
Yes.
And then this guy got it. My man DeReal says Bleak versus Obi. Would Bleak win that one, Twist?
Hell yeah.
yeah. I give it to
Yeah,
Bleak.
yeah,
Man.
well, that.
Bleak got bars.
I keep the 40 cal on my side.
No, Obi only got that Cheers album that he was like. Well, he got another one that he was good. Like,
No, he got on Mad albums, bro. He actually, after Cheers, he dropped Second Rounds on Me.
Yeah.
And
okay,
then
I
he had,
remember.
Last call.
and then he and on that one he had the song with Akon called Snitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had another album. He kept it all liquor theme. What was his third album called?
Rehab or something, relapse or some shit.
Last call.
Last call.
Last call.
Last Call. And then he had an album called Special Delivery, I think.
Yeah.
No, not Special Delivery. And then his fifth album was called Fifth. He kept it liquor related.
Didn't he go to
time.
rehab? He had an album, his last album called something like that or something? Or no?
Yeah, I think it is, man. I think it is. It's like
he changed his life or something. He changed or something. He said.
I gotta search that up now that you say that, man. Because
Yeah, it's something. I think like I said it on Sway. I'm not mistaken. Bro.
Oh no! That was his fourth album. No, Rosewood. His third album. Let me just tell everybody this so everyone realizes. The first album was called Cheers. The second album was called Second Rounds on Me. Both of those were released on Shady Records. The third album was released on his own Rounds on Me imprint, and it was called Bottoms Up. The third album was called Bottoms Up. The fourth album, I think what you're referring to, Death of the Clout Chaser, was called The Hangover.
Okay.
And then the fifth album was called The Fifth.
And he done? He ain't been back since then.
Let me see. That was released in 2019, The Fifth.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's about right. That's when I seen him on Sway Labs, I think.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know, we got into some crazy shit out in Detroit recently, man. I hope he's good.
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah, he got into some crazy shit. Anybody want to give a shout out to G Depp? G Depp is a terrific lyricist.
Yeah.
Shout out to G Depp, bro.
I actually had the chance to work with G Depp a few times. He was cool to me.
Yeah,
What about Loon though? He got some hits.
Loon? Oh yeah, Loon.
Loon got some hits. He had a little era.
What was his the record he was on called? I Need a Girl, right?
Yeah.
What else was that? It seemed like they made like 3 versions of that shit.
I think it was 2. Was it 2 or 3?
It seemed like they had a lot.
Yeah, they did. They definitely stretched that joint up.
What do you mean? The second version was better than the first?
Yeah.
The first one they had Usher on, I believe, right? And then they're like, yo, we can't get Usher back, but let's do another joint. Let's put Loon on this one.
Yep, they definitely stretched that joint up. We can't forget about Sean either.
Oh yeah. That shit was that his first album in when he was in prison. I like with that More or Less on that. I just play that shit all the time. More or Less.
Yep, that joint. Sean used to be that boy.
Yeah, I liked For the Record. The one where he dissed 50 Cent.
Yeah, I remember that, John.
He they played a recording of Sha Money being like, hey, Shine, what's going on, man? 50 Cent wants to sign you to G Unit. And then Shine didn't sign the G Unit. He ended up signing the Def Jam though for $3.5 million.
Damn.
I guess it was a good decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then remember they had put out on the source that he had got $50 million deal while he was in prison.
Yeah, I
His
remember that.
imprint jangling.
They was offering him all types of deals when he was booked.
If they gave his ass 50 million, then he must owe Def Jam a lot of money.
Well, I think it was 3.5 million.
No, they put it up. Look, you remember that? They put it on the thing. Look it up. It was like they
But
gave
this,
the man like 20 million or it gave him a high number. It was
but I
like,
mean, if they gave him 3 million, does he owe that back to them, Bonds?
Well, he not in America no more, so they can't get him.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he got a. They investing.
He
Trying
put that he put that money behind his politician wave.
yeah.
Rosewood said Shone's first album was dope. I'm not
Shine.
I'm not sure who he meant by Shone, but
Yeah.
Okay, Price and Shine. Yeah.
oh, Shine.
Yeah.
What album did you like better, guys? I think Shine's second album was better than his first. What's your opinions?
I ain't hear his second one.
Oh, you didn't hear Godfather Buried Alive?
Nah. I don't. I remember it vaguely, but I can't. I don't remember it enough to really.
that was the one. That was one of them. I think that was my favorite one because that's the one with more or less and all that on there, ain't it?
Yep,
Yeah.
exact. Yep.
Yeah, that joint definitely hit hard.
Had a lot of good songs. I really feel like Shine got better with his flow too on this album. It had like some weird titles, like this one joint called Quasi OG. He had Behind the Wall with Corrupt. You must remember that one, bro. Death of the Cloud Chaser. Remember that one with Corrupt?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, he definitely like that's the thing too, like you said, because it sounds like he had got better, and then he in jail, and then so when you thinking when he come home, your expectation is like super high.
Facts.
Then
Facts.
he did, it's like my God, my boy,
Yeah, like he lost everything. Like he
like what they do to you.
yeah. Yeah, like man.
And then he had the record with Ashanti called Jimmy Choo. Diamonds and Mac 10s and Here With Me, both produced by Just Blaze. He had a couple dope joints on there, man.
But look, we was talking about the East Coast. Who you think that the Migos can do a versus with? Who can the Migos do a versus with?
Okay, who could the Migos do a versus with? Who do we got to go against the Migos, you guys? See, there's three of them, so it's kind of difficult. Who would I want to see the Migos go against?
You can put them up against any one of your groups.
I mean, I don't.
They ain't qualified to go against every group. They kind of music in the era they come from. They can't go against any
Where's
group.
the Hot Boys?
Sorry, but the Migos, Bone Thugs and Harmony seem to want that battle bad, and it seems like Crunchy Black wants that battle pretty bad.
They got Real Smoke. Well, not Real Smoke, but you know.
Let's do 3-6 Mafia and let's do 3-6 Mafia and Migos and see who can get more crunk. Let's see who can get more crazy.
That's
like, you know what I mean?
Lil Jon and them, son. Lil Jon.
No, not Little John. The original Get Crazy guys. 3-6 Mafia versus the new Get Crazy guys. Migos.
That could work.
Yeah.
Migos.
There's three of the 3-6 Mafia, right? Even though there's six. There's three, kind of.
Oh, they said Race Rumor. That'll be a good one.
Migos versus Young Money.
Was Ray Shrummer the ones who did Black Beatles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lit. They got to bring Gucci with them, though.
They got like 3 albums, though. They got like 3 albums. They got a lot of major, like, international hits. So they can definitely compete with the Migos.
Yo, Iceberg, let me ask you, was Offset wearing one of those outfits with the cross on it. He be loving them shits. He's my boy Iceberg moderated in the chat said Offset is mad cool. I met him in ATL and he showed my artist mad love. Migos is down to earth dudes. Young Money versus the Migos. They got a song with French. Yeah, let's go French Montana versus the Migos, man. That's what I'll do. That's who I'm sending from the East Coast to face the Migos. That's the Cloud Chaser. I'm
That'll
sending
work,
French Montana.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
What'd you say?
I think that'll work there. I think that'll work.
We coming. We
Coke
coming
Boys
from the
versus
East Coast. Bonds, what do you think, bro? You're from New York.
Coke Boys
Coke Boys.
versus Migos.
Coke Boys versus Migos. Coke Wave, Max B, and French Montana.
And Chinks. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chinks. We could do it when Max B gets home, actually. 2022, when Max B gets home, French Montana and Max B versus the Migos. Max B's welcome home party.
Let's do it.
Yo, Death of the Cloud Chaser. Have you been doing any reporting on Soulja Boy?
No. Well, what about him though? What happened with him?
I mean, he's starting a new label. He's trying to get his SODMG label started.
He should change the name because he ain't done that like 50 times already.
Yeah, true.
He done it 50 times. Yeah, you see, like he had so many opportunities to sign people. Like he could have signed. Like he says, I guess he put Quavo and Travis Scott in the same room together. Like he could have signed them as a duo. You know what I mean? But he just didn't see it.
He probably seen it. They probably said, "Hell no, little soldier."
You think he said hell no?
Yeah.
So then Soulja Boy went live a few weeks ago, right? When Soulja Boy goes live, he usually has like 1,000 to 3,000 followers, right? So he was going live with Chief Keef. Chief Keef tapped into his live, and they had 30,000 people in there. Yo, the viewership on Chief Keef is still through the roof.
Yeah, because he like private. He private, but he open at the same time. So like it's kind of weird, but when he do stuff like that, it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna do some numbers.
Yep. You're right. You're right. It's because he's a little bit more private. It's because he doesn't give people all that complete access to him and shit like that.
Yeah.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that.
It's just kind of like they, you know, you seen artists like Lil Uzi, certain artists, they took it from Chief Keef, like because you had people like Jay-Z, but everybody was like they can't be Jay-Z. But then you got an artist like Chief Keef who do it. They like, damn, Chief Keef do it. It works.
Right.
I'm gonna be like him, man. Ain't gonna say much. Cause even back then, like you would see, like even Future was doing interviews and stuff like that. But when Future came around, I mean when Chief Keef came around for that era, he wasn't doing no interviews, man. And even though you know how it go, bro.
Yup. And then
you gotta go to LA.
Chief Keef excuse me, not Chief Keef. Soulja Boy back in the day would literally be too busy. Soulja Boy would literally be too busy back in the day to actually do interviews. But honestly, right now, Death of the Clout Chaser, Soulja Boy's biggest views come from when he actually jumps on the screen. So it's more important for him to actually jump on the screen nowadays.
Yeah, now for him. But I think it always been like that, really, for him. He always been pretty much like the internet person.
Well, he was out getting big checks for a while. He was probably getting so many checks, he had too little time to even get on the internet.
But I think he was still doing he the first era of them vlogs and shit, like them artists when they be doing They be following people around, like, showing them what they doing and shit.
Yep.
He was like
Nah.
one of the first eras of that shit. Like,
He should have sold more DVDs, man. But yeah, nah, they're just saying he's buying fake jewelry and shit like that. Like he bought some jewelry from the mall, I guess, and now they're trying to act like I don't understand why he would do that in the first place if he was going to spend $35,000 on a watch. Why would you get it from a mall where you're? I mean, he was in Vegas at the mall.
oh yeah, the Vegas Mall got jewelry stores that cost that much. The
Yeah,
ones up in like the Fashion Show Mall, the Caesar's Palace Mall, like you got
Right.
these boutiques and shit. They cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But like you said, people hear the mall, they thinking like it's they mall where they from, but it ain't they mall where they from.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't get why Soldier Boy like would spend $35,000 like that and be. But I mean, like you're saying, and he actually showed it. He actually showed it. They had legitimate spots and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely different. But I get that, like when you hear that, man, that's some mall jewelry, especially with the culture. That's like somebody dissing you. You know what I'm saying? When they say that, man, they get that mall jewelry out of here. Because most of the time when you in the mall, you walking past the jewelry, you don't be costing that much. You know what I'm
Yeah, especially when they've got you videoed at the mall by what looks like a bootleg spot.
saying?
You know what I mean? Like at
Yeah.
the most legitimate bootleg looking spot. But
But he probably
what's up,
did
bro?
buy some bootleg shit though. You know what? Because like he's the type of dude who'll probably do it. Like I'm going out tonight. You know what I'm saying?
You think he bought some bootleg shit for Skinny from the Nine, bro?
I think he did. That's why Skinny from the Nine wasn't able to pawn that shit when he went broke.
But
But
yes.
the industry got the new diamonds though. They got them lab diamonds and they testing on the scanners and shit, right? You know that, right? Like all the artists who be going on Instagram with the damn little thing, testing their jewelry. They got this. They got lab diamonds that that'll pass that machine and shit, and they not real diamonds. I've been seeing it on my Instagram. They be advertising to me. I'm like, wow, this is a thing. Then my nephew, he be selling the type of jewelry and shit and making jewelry for people. He was like, yeah, that's the thing, man. So it's a lot of artists with fake jewelry. That's what like who was that? You seen the dude, Young Chopper? What's his name? NLE Chopper. You seen that?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen
Nah.
I
What
haven't seen what he's been doing
He
lately.
had said that he had went on video saying that he buy fake jewelry or something because why would he spend his money on real jewelry and he don't got the money for it?
Nah, I didn't see him say that. I didn't see him say that, but honestly, I could see why some rappers, I guess, would say that shit. They'd be like, "Yo, man, what does it matter? I got this
Yeah.
real shit right here. I got this real shit right here. If I have something fake right here, it won't even matter." Is that how it is, Bonds?
I mean, yeah. Shit.
You think that's how they be thinking?
Yeah.
What's the name
Especially
did a
probably.
debate? They did a debate on the Rush to 5'9", and it was some other rapper. They did a debate on it, and they had no. It was the who the guy who be rapping with Rush to 5'9", start with a C.
Crooked Eye?
Yeah, Crooked Eye, and they was going. They was just like, it don't make no sense to get fake jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Like you get the jewelry because of it's more so like the accomplishment or something. He said like, why would you get the fake jewelry? You just shouldn't buy the jewelry. So they had a whole debate about it. It was interesting.
Did either of them, did Crooked Eye at all say that you should buy fake jewelry ever?
They said you should. Now they both agreed basically like it's no reason to buy fake jewelry. You might as well just not buy it at all.
I agree with that shit, man. I agree with that shit.
You don't need it. Like,
Because you would think they would probably be in agreement with it. You know what type of conscious rappers they are, and what they stand for when they talk about certain things like that in the public eye. And you would think they'd be in agreement. It's like, well, buy the fake jewelry. You know, don't spend all your money on that. They was just clean out though, like don't buy it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like why buy fake jewelry if you like don't buy it?
But what about the fact of affording something like Cook says, I think Soulja Boy can afford it. 35,000. Bonds, you thinking Soulja Boy can still afford just a 35,000?
I mean, I guess so. I can't. I ain't watch. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, he's into a few different things. So maybe.
I mean, unless it's cool to lie about buying shit that's worth $35,000.
Yeah.
But he ain't the regular. Like we can't act like he's a regular rapper, even though he was big. But he was big and he made his own music. Like he rapped it and made the beat. So his payout gonna be totally different from the average rapper. His shit gonna probably be 3 times.
Right.
You feel me? So whatever he did, it's gonna be 3 times. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
At
I
least.
give him the benefit of the doubt because it's like, okay, if you're getting paid $50,000 to go be somewhere, and then you make a stupid decision to buy something that's 35,000, you know what I mean? That's what people can do sometimes.
Who was just that? They was rapping at a wedding or something. I think it was somebody. That was a joke. My bad.
My boy, Hot Boy Turk was just rapping at a wedding.
It was.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah. I seen
But they
Ja
be doing
Rule.
it like that though. They be
Seen
doing
that
5
Ja
minutes.
Rule footage of somebody performing at like some little house party type shit.
Ja Rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ja Rule be getting it too. The Keymaker says Soulja Boy is a legend. Death of the Cloud Chaser. Soulja Boy hits you up and says, yo, stacks on deck, money gang. Actually, never mind, man. Because Soulja Boy be getting people to say that he signed him for $1 million. And I just don't know if it's true. But if Soulja Boy came with $1 million, there ain't no doubt about that I would talk some business with him.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, at the end of the day, it's like only thing is with Soulja Boy, he has signed a lot of artists, but it's like he didn't do nothing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't even got like one of them artists. Like maybe we don't know, but it don't seem like he got one of them artists that's mainstream right now that he behind. Like we talk about Travis Scott, that's T.I. artists. You know what I'm saying? That's T.I. artists.
Jesus.
He signed a Grand Hustle. His shit, I was just looking at his shit the other day. His shit be still saying on the imprint Grand Hustle.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yep. A lot of people don't. I guess they keep it a secret because the bag
Yeah,
good.
they don't mix it.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Soulja Boy was rapping at a wedding? Hey, man. I guess these guys be rapping. And then my dude right here is saying Ja Rule's getting that bar mitzvah money. I guess these people who pay to put on weddings, they got it in the budget, man.
Yep. $200,000 wedding, 40,000 on music. They'll do it.
Yep, they got it in the budget, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate you guys tapping in with me
Oh,
tonight,
family.
Bonds. Yo, Death of the Clout Chaser. Really appreciate you, bro. Everybody in here, if you're not already following Death of the Clout Chaser, go follow him right now. Also, if you're not,
we on Instagram
tapped in.
Cloud Chaser, bro.
Yeah. Yep. It's my name. That for the Cloud Chaser.
I'm gonna follow you on the Grizzly too.
No doubt, fam. I'm gonna follow you back. But man, I appreciate it, man. The opportunity, man. Look, we just hit the 50,000, man. Man,
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
gonna ride.
Oh, that's big shit. Congrats, man. Salute.
And I appreciate it.
50,000 and grinding, man. Death of the Clout Chaser, man, is keeping y'all up to date with shit consistently. But I really appreciate you
Thanks,
tapping in, man. Major salute to Death of the Clout Chaser. Bond Simmons, really appreciate you tapping in, man. That's the local legend right there. Before you get up out of here, let everybody know what you got coming out and how they can get in contact with you, bro.
Yo, Bond Simmons on all platforms. The New Religion Network. You know what I'm saying? Bone Simmons, YouTube. Follow me. I got the album coming out 8/24. You know what I'm saying? Local legend. About to drop a documentary. Matter of fact, tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna send it to you too, Mikey. I'm gonna tag you on that shit. I'm dropping the first part to this documentary for
All
the
right,
album.
everybody.
And so yeah,
Everybody follow Bonds, y'all. Stay
what
tapped
time
in.
it is, man?
The New Religion. Y'all see it right there. Y'all see it on the screen. The New Religion. We'll catch you on the next episode, Bonds.
Yes, sir. Love, Mikey T.
Have a good night, brother.
Peace and blessings.
Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Everybody go ahead and follow Bond Simmons. I'm sure he'll follow everybody back that follows him right now. And everybody on here, follow me for a follow back. Everybody that follows me back right now on the gram, I will follow y'all back right after I get off here. I'm going to follow every single person that follows me back when I get off here. So follow me, y'all. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Hell yeah. You gotta respect Soulja Boy. You gotta respect Soulja Boy. Salute everybody for tapping in on the live. Follow me on the gram.